A service of KIBMradio.com, the Internet's home for an all old-time radio.
The Kraft Foods Company presents Harold Perry as the Great Gildersleeve. The Great Gildersleeve is brought to you by the Kraft Foods Company, makers of Parquet margarine. Millions of women all over America serve Parquet because it tastes so good. Why, Parquet tastes like it should cost twice as much.
To market, to get some Parquet. Home again, try it today. You'll like it, you'll love it, like millions who say their favorite margarine is
Parkay, Parquet margarine, made by Kraft. Well, it's Sunday in Summerfield. An aura of peace and goodwill surrounds Water Commissioner Gildersleeve as he strolls home from church in his Sunday best with a pretty lady on his arm.
Good morning, Jones. Glad to see you in church.
Who's he, Throckmorton?
Jones is a clerk in the city treasurer's office, Adeline.
Oh.
Always like to see those fellows in the treasurer's office attending church. Well, there's Mayor Terwilliger. Good morning, Mr. Mayor. Glad you saw me in church.
Don't you just love to go to church on Sunday, Throckmorton? Dr. Prescott's sermons make you feel so good inside.
Well, Adeline, they make you feel pretty good when you get outside, too. Pretty long talker, Prescott.
Oh, you. I enjoyed every minute of it. I never saw so many pretty new fall hats. It was awfully sweet of you to invite me to go.
Well, I knew you'd want to hear Marjorie's first solo.
She sang beautifully, Throckmorton.
Yeah, little Marjorie in the choir. Family's growing up, Adeline. Before we know it, the baby will be going to Sunday school.
The poor little foundling. I don't think anybody's ever going to claim her. When are you going to adopt her, Throckmorton?
Well, the state law seems to think I should be married first.
Well, it's none of my business, but I agree the baby ought to have a mother.
That may be true.
Some other couple could come along and adopt her unless you get married. Of course, it's none of my business.
But who could I marry, Adeline?
Well, there's an old Southern expression. Sometimes you're so close to the forest you can't see the tree.
Yes. Well, here's your house and there's mine. Goodbye. I see the tree all right. She nearly had me on a limb. Well, Bertie, sunning the baby?
Yes, Mr. Gildersleeve. Thought I'd bring her out in the yard for a while.
Good idea. And how are you, little baby? You like it out here? Well, I guess she does.
You care to watch her for a while, Mr. Gildersleeve? I ought to start dinner.
Dinner? Oh, go right ahead, Bertie.
Thank you, sir.
Come along, little baby. The sun's moving around. Let's move around with it. Yeah. That's it. Hold on to your hat, baby. Here we go, right out the driveway. Oh, there's a car coming in here. Bullard, always using my driveway to turn around. Why doesn't he use his own?
Oh, hello, Gildersleeve. Hope you don't mind my using your driveway.
Oh, no, anytime. That's what it's for, neighbor. Nice car you're driving, Mr. Bullard.
Well, it'll do until I get my 49 model. Late 48.
Oh, yes. I'm waiting for a 49 model, too. Been waiting since 1936.
That's a nice buggy you're pushing, Gildersleeve.
Buggy? Oh, yes. There's a baby inside.
Yes, I know. I've been noticing her. I'm very interested in babies.
You are?
Hello there, little Miss Baby. Remember me? I'm Mr. Rumson Bullet from across the street.
Oh, brother.
We shook hands the other day, remember? Tickle, 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 tickle.
He doesn't seem very responsive today.
Well, maybe it's your gloves, Mr. Bullard. She might be frightened by the yellow suede.
Oh. You're lucky to have a lovely child like this, Gildersleeve. Mrs. Bullet and I have often discussed adopting a little girl to grow up with Craig.
That might help. Little Craig.
And this baby has aroused my interest.
Yes?
Have you started adoption proceedings yet, Gildersleeve?
Well, no, Mr. Bullard. To adopt her, I'd have to get married, and that seems a little drastic.
Yes, I can understand why you wouldn't want to assume additional obligations, a water commissioner's salary being what it is.
It isn't that, Mr. Bullard.
Whereas with my income, I could easily support a little tax exemption. Yes, indeed. She'd be welcome in the Bullard home.
Now, look here, Bullard.
Well, ta-ta, little tot. But I'll be seeing you.
Good day, Gildersleeve.
What he meant by that? Baby, how'd you like to have a stuffed shirt like that for a father? Yeah. Those are my sentiments exactly. I'd better watch that guy. I may put a gate on that driveway, too. Just can't seem to get to sleep. Wonder if I ate too much of Bertie's roast beef. No, it isn't that. It's what old Moneybags Bullard was saying. Wonder what he meant by all those sly comments.
Have you started adoption proceedings yet, Gildersleeve?
Huh?
Yes, indeed. She'd be welcome in the Bullard home. Ta-ta, little tot. I'll be seeing you real soon.
Take that! Take that!
What's the matter? Wake up, Unc!
What's it for? Beautiful?
Wake up, Unc. You're dreaming.
I am?
Sure, you were squirming around and hitting the pillow like you were punching some guy in the nose.
I was, Leroy. Why did you wake me up?
Huh?
Bullard had it coming.
What a character.
What a night that was. Oh, well. I'll be at the office in a minute, where I can get some sleep. Bullard wouldn't try to adopt my baby. He's a neighbor and a friend. Well, a neighbor, anyway. Hey, there's Bullard now, going into the courthouse. Courthouse? I better follow him. There he goes down the hall. I'll stay a little ways behind him. He turned left. I'll bet that's where you go to take out adoption papers. I'll just peek around the corner.
Gildersleeve? Gildersleeve, are you following me?
Following? Just on my way to my office.
Gildersleeve, what are you up to?
Well, what are you up to? What are you doing down here?
I'm seeing a certain official about a certain matter, and it's certainly none of your business.
It certainly is. I'm going to see my lawyer. Judge, I've got to talk to you.
Now, let's re-examine the facts of the case, Mr. Garfinkel.
Judge, get off the phone.
Excuse me. Gildy, I'm conversing with a client, Farmer Garfinkel.
I'm a client, too.
Then sit down on the chair. Now then, Mr. Garfinkel, you allege that hunters trespassed on your property and shot 8 tame geese.
Geese at a time like this, John.
Which we shall hereafter refer to as the corpus delicti.
Judge, if you don't hang up, there's going to be a corpus hooker.
Pardon me, Mr. Garfinkel. There's a big commotion in the office. I'll call you back. I hope you're satisfied now that you've interrupted me on my biggest case this week, Gildy. What's on your alleged mind?
Judge, you've got to help me adopt the baby.
Well, Gildy, I doubt if I'm your solution.
What do you mean?
To adopt the baby, you have to get married. And I don't accept your proposal.
Judge, let's not be ridiculous. I have every reason to believe that somebody is trying to adopt the baby before I do.
Who, Gildy?
Rumson Bullard.
Rumson Bullard?
Just yesterday he said he admired her, and this morning I caught him sneaking into the courthouse. Judge, you've got to help me.
Gildy, I regret to say that if Rumson Bullard is taking steps, there's not much that I can do about it.
Judge!
And if you're not going to marry and adopt the infant, Bullard's home might not be a bad place for her.
Uh-huh.
Cultural and social advantages, opportunities to marry well, money. She'd never want for anything, Gildy.
Now I can see it. Hooker, you're on Bullard's side, too. I'll bet you even drew up his papers.
What?
You've turned against your friend and fellow jolly boy. You're nothing but an old goat in wolf's clothing.
Now, Gildy, you know I'm the best friend you and that baby have.
Horse feathers, Hooker, horse feathers. You can save that stuff for Garfinkel and his 8 dead geese.
Well, maybe Bullard should adopt the baby. At least she won't have a fathead for a father.
Oh, watch it, turncoat.
Fathead?
Goose lawyer, goodbye. Well, little baby, you don't know what's happened today, do you? You see that big house across the street? There's a big man in there, and he wants you. I couldn't bear to see this little girl grow up across the street. It would break my heart. But, as Hooker said, she'd never want for anything. Might be for the best. Well, little girl, the only way I can prevent it is to get married. But the prevention seems worse than the cure. It's not funny.
Hi, Unc.
Hello, Leroy.
Can I have my allowance 3 weeks in advance, 2 1/4, huh?
Why do you want $2.25, Leroy?
For a down payment on a dog.
A dog? Why do you want a dog all of a sudden?
I want to pet him and play with him.
Leroy, there are dogs running across our lawn every 5 minutes. You can pet them.
Gosh, they're just nuts. I want a pedigreed dog.
Pedigreed dog? Now, where did you get such an idea?
Well, nowhere. But gosh, it's my allowance, Unc. I'll put the 2 1/4 with what I have and... Hey, Unc, why don't you buy it?
Leroy, pedigreed dogs cost a lot of money.
You can count it as my Christmas present. For 2 years.
Leroy, you know you'll want a dozen things between now and Christmas.
Well, all right. You don't want me to have it.
No, my boy, I didn't say that. Sit down. Let's talk this thing over. Your old uncle isn't made of money, you know.
It's all right, Unc. A little kid can't have a dog. It's all right.
Oh, my goodness. A pedigreed dog. Well, I'd better go up and see if you'll settle for a pedigreed-looking mutt. Now, who could that be? It's nearly supper time.
Where's Leroy?
Craig Bullard.
Where's Leroy?
He's upstairs, Craig. He doesn't feel so good. What's that?
Tell Leroy to come down. I want to show him my pedigreed dog again.
Oh, so that's where Leroy got the idea, eh?
Leroy doesn't have a pedigreed dog.
Well, he may have one someday. I've been thinking of buying him a bird dog just like that.
He's not a bird dog. Like you know about dogs, he's a Welsh Terrier.
Welsh Terrier? Oh, yeah, it's getting a little dark out there.
He's got a pedigreed name a mile long. Van Hill's Red Berry Nightcap of Willowell Farms.
It sounds more expensive than I thought.
Why don't you let Leroy come down?
It's a little late, Craig. Go on home. I'm closing the door.
Don't you close the door on me. I'll tell my father. He doesn't like you.
I've got news for you. I don't like him either.
He buys me more than you buy Leroy. I'll bet you don't buy Leroy anything.
That's not true.
You're just a big fat water peddler.
Oh, Craig, you go on home now.
Water peddler?
You go on home to supper. And don't come back with that bird dog.
You call me Miss Gildersleeve?
No, Bertie. I was just suggesting to Craig that he go home.
Oh.
Bertie, what would you think about letting some wealthy family like the Bullards adopt the baby?
Mr. Bullard?
Now, Bertie, I know it comes as a shock to you, but there are a lot of things in favor of it. There'll always be things the water peddler commissioner can't buy.
Well, money ain't everything, Mr. Gildersleeve. Look how well you raised Miss Marjorie and Leroy. You know what you give them children that money can't buy?
Well...
You give them part of your heart.
Now, Bertie, you're just prejudiced.
You may not be a man with a big pocketbook, but you're a man with a big heart.
Well, but in the long run, the baby may be better off with Mr. Bullard.
Mr. Gildersleeve, you can't give this baby to that man. You don't want this sweet little thing to grow up like that snooty little Craig, do you?
Well...
Mr. Gildersleeve, that baby was left in your car, and it's your responsibility.
The only way I can keep her is to get married.
Married? Well, if that's the only way, I'll take it. Throw caution to the wind.
I may have to, at that.
Now you're talking, Mr. Gildersleeve. No sacrifice is too great when it comes to saving the baby.
I may save the baby, but who'll save me? Oh, my goodness.
$50,000 in prizes, including 20 brand new Ford sedans.
Think of it. 721 prizes, including 20 powerful, streamlined new Ford sedans, will be won in Parquet series of big contests. Why, those Fords alone are practically priceless today. And the grand prize winner gets $1,000 to go with the luxurious car he wins. Just listen to these prizes.
Each week for 5 weeks, Parquet is awarding 4 beautiful new Ford sedans, 40 General Electric table radios, 20 Corey coffee makers, 20 Toastmaster automatic pop-up toasters, 60 new $10 bills.
Now, to enter, just help the great Gildersleeve get a name for the pretty little baby girl he found some weeks ago. Write your suggested name for the baby on a contest entry blank. They're available at your food dealers with complete rules. Or use a plain piece of paper. Send entry with one red flap from the end of a package of Parquet margarine and your name and address to Parquet Margarine, Box 736, Chicago 77, Illinois.
Be sure to enclose your Parquet dealer's name and address.
Make a bid for your beautiful 1949 Ford, but hurry. This third week's contest closes this Saturday. Mail your entry to Parquet Margarine, Box 736, Chicago 77, Illinois. Now, the first week's winners will be announced at the end of this program. Now let's return to the great Gildersleeve. Arms locked behind his back, he walks the streets, baring his chest and thoughts to the wind and rain.
Marriage. Of course, I won't be able to go out nights with the jolly boys as much. Well, after the first year. But I can adopt the baby, and that's what I want. No use kidding yourself, Gildersleeve. You've got to get married. Hello, Peavy.
Hello, Mr. Gildersleeve. What can I do for you this blustery afternoon?
Well, if you don't mind, I'd like to stand over your floor furnace a few minutes.
Careful. A lot of hot air comes up through there, Mr. Gildersleeve.
I know that, Peavy. Peavy, I just made a big decision. I'm going to get married.
Yep, a lot of hot air comes up through there.
I mean it this time, Peavy.
Oh, I'm sure you do. Who is the lucky woman?
Well, that's what I'd like to talk to you about.
You've decided to marry without knowing who? That's living pretty dangerously, Mr. Gildersleeve.
I have a pretty good idea, Peavy, but I'd appreciate your opinion.
Mr. Gildersleeve, I'm no Dorothy Dick.
No, but you've been married a long time. You know what adds up to a happy married life.
No, I wouldn't say that. But I might be able to point out some of the bear traps.
Well, trap or no trap, Peavy, it's the best thing to do. For me, the baby, and Miss Fairchild.
Miss Fairchild, you say?
Yeah. What do you think of Adeline Fairchild, Peavy?
Well, she appears to be a fine, upstanding woman.
Oh, that she is. Now that I have a baby in the house, I have to have a wife.
You sure you're not putting the cart before the horse, Mr. Gildersleeve?
Peavy, I have reason to believe that if I don't adopt the baby right away, somebody else will.
Well, I don't blame you for wanting to adopt the baby.
You don't? By George, Peavy, I'll call Adeline right now and make a date and propose tonight. And Peavy, thanks for your advice.
I didn't give that hothead any advice. Mr. Gildersleeve.
Yes, Peavy?
I wondered if you would mind using the telephone booth across the street.
Huh? What's the matter, Peavy? Is yours out of order?
No, but you're a good customer, Mr. Gildersleeve. I'd hate to have you come in here years later, look at that booth, and hold it against me.
Oh, my goodness. I'm going to call from here, Peavy, and you can suffer the consequences same as me.
Unky, you look so nice tonight.
Thank you, Marjorie.
Your lotion smells devastating. And you've shaved so nice and close.
Yes.
But aren't you a little pale, Unky?
Pale? Oh, that's talcum powder, I think.
Hey, Unc, why the black suit? Another political rally?
Leroy, this is no rally.
Well, you look great anyway, Unc.
I don't know who you're calling on tonight, Unky, but whoever she is, I'll bet she can't resist you.
No, I don't suppose she will.
Here, wait till I straighten your tie. There. Now stand back. I want to take one last look at you.
You better take one last look, too, Leroy.
Why?
I want you to remember me the way I am. Well, can't stay out here all night. I better go in. Those policemen cruising around the block are getting suspicious. Well, better ring the bell, I guess. What if Adeline doesn't accept me? No, you're grabbing at straws, Gildersleeve. You've got to go through with it for the baby's sake.
Well, hello, Throckmorton.
Hello, Adeline.
Won't you come into my parlor? Said the spider to the fly.
Oop. Adeline, what do you mean by that?
Well, nothing, silly.
Are you sure?
My, you're touchy this evening.
Well, had a hard day.
You must have.
I'm sorry, Adeline.
Sit down.
Thank you.
This afternoon on the phone, you sounded so eager and so romantic.
Yes, I guess I did.
You just going to sit there and whistle all night?
Whistle? Oh, no. Why didn't I propose over the telephone? Would have been easier than this.
What's wrong with him? I'd have sworn he was coming over here to propose.
I could have written her a letter. No, never put it in writing, then you are trapped.
Throckmorton, what are you thinking about?
Huh? Oh. Adeline?
Yes?
Adeline? I wonder if you'd hand me one of those mints. My mouth seems a little dry.
All right.
I have a faint feeling I'm being a little hasty. The sacrifices I make for that baby.
Here's a mint.
Oh, thank you.
He looks a little green. Wonder if all that smelly lotion he poured on made him ill.
Adeline?
Yes?
You and I have known each other a long time.
Nearly a year.
That's long enough for people to make up their minds about each other. So, Adeline, I came over tonight to ask you...
Yes, Throckmorton?
To ask you to hand me another mint. My mouth's dry again.
All right.
Why doesn't the silly Billy come to the point? I can't propose to him unless he waits too long.
Here's the mint, Throckmorton.
Oh, thank you, Adeline. As I was saying, I seem to like you, and you seem to like me. So tonight, Adeline, I'd like to ask you to...
Yes, Throckmorton?
Pass me another mint.
Why don't you take the whole box?
Oh, thank you. Adeline, you're good-natured, nice-looking, always attractive when I come over in the evening.
Wonder how she looks in the morning.
I've always admired you, too, Throckmorton. You're a successful businessman. You're attractive and sturdy.
A little too sturdy, but I'll take that off of him.
Well, Adeline, now that we've talked it over, I'd like to ask you...
There aren't any more mints.
There aren't? Then I better go home.
Throckmorton P. Gildersleeve, you sit down.
Huh?
Could it be, you sweet little man, that you came over here to propose to little old Adeline?
Huh?
I accept.
You do? I've saved the baby. Good night, Adeline.
You great, big, broad-shouldered husband-to-be.
That's me. Well, Gildersleeve, you have every reason to be a happy man. That sick feeling in your stomach is probably because you ate so many mints. Probably. Who's that? Oh, Bullard, out walking that dog. Well, I've got something to say to him. Bullard, wait a minute.
Quiet, boy. Good evening, Gildersleeve.
Bullard, you can't have the baby.
What's that, Gildersleeve?
You thought you could double-cross me, didn't you? With all your money, you thought you could step right in and take my baby away from me. Well, Bullard, it won't work. I've taken steps. I'm going to get married.
Well, congratulations, Gildersleeve.
Don't you congratulate me, Bullard. It means I can adopt the baby.
I think that's wonderful. Congratulations again.
What? Aren't you mad because you can't adopt her?
Certainly not. Why should I be?
But, Bullard, what about this morning at the courthouse? What were you doing there?
Gildersleeve, it's none of your business, but if you must know, I was getting this dog a license.
A dog license? I've been double-crossed.
Now for the names of the 4 top winners in the first of Parquet's 5 big baby naming contests.
Oh, I want to hear that.
Each one of the following contest entrants has won a massive, powerful, streamlined 1949 four-door Ford sedan. Mrs. L.A. Morse of Long Beach, California. Lorne R. Kermit, Jr. of Detroit, Michigan. Mrs. Allie E. Truman of Portland, Oregon. Mrs. Luana Bassinger of Route 2, Box 33, Rockwell, North Carolina. Congratulations to all of you.
Yes, indeed.
Winners of 140 other prizes in the first week's contest will be notified by mail. 4 more winners of Fords will be announced next week. Remember, you can enter the big $50,000 contest as often as you want. Send in several entries, maybe 4 or 5 this week, and boost your opportunities to win a brand new Ford sedan.
Ladies and gentlemen, every year at this time, the Community Chest appeals to you for help. A single donation to the Community Chest means a donation to all health, welfare, and recreation organizations that serve your community. By giving generously, you can be sure that your money is helping where it's most needed. You give once a year, but the wonderful work of the Community Chest goes on all year round. So please give generously. Thank you, and good night.
Maybe here's the main dish food that won't play hob with your food budget. It's cheese, Golden Good cheese. It's a bargain in nutrition. Cheese is a protein food, a main dish food. In fact, ounce for ounce, no other basic food matches cheese,
for high-quality, complete protein for calcium, phosphorus, and other nutrients from milk. Tomorrow, get one of Kraft's famous pasteurized process varieties. Medium mellow Kraft American or sharp Old English. For rich yet mild cheddar flavor, get the delicious cheese food Velveeta. For marvelous lower-cost main dishes cooked with...
This is NBC, the national broadcasting company.
The Kraft Foods Company presents Harold Perry as the Great Gildersleeve. The Great Gildersleeve is brought to you by the Kraft Foods Company, makers of Parquet margarine. Millions of women all over America serve Parquet because it tastes so good. Why, Parquet tastes like it should cost twice as much.
To market, to get some Parquet. Home again, try it today. You like it, you love it, like millions who say their favorite margarine is
Parkay, Parquet margarine, made by Kraft. When the average man becomes engaged, it's usually to just one woman. But leave it to the Great Gildersleeve to be a little different. He now finds himself betrothed to two women, his new sweetheart, Adeline Fairchild, and his old flame, Leela Ransom. At the moment, he's discussing his predicament with the new member of the family, the baby.
What am I going to do, baby? I can't marry both of them. If you were in a situation like this, what would you do? Oh, thanks. You're a big help. How do I get into these things? What are you laughing at? The only reason I got into this marriage business is because I could adopt you. You know, baby, you've caused me a lot of trouble since I found you in that parking lot. Yes, but you're worth it, baby. I have to make up my mind pretty soon. I've been stalling them both for a week now. They're getting a little impatient. But which one do I want to marry? Adeline's sweet, but so is Leela. Leela's awfully cute, but so is Adeline. Right back where I started. Just have to stall them a little longer. Well, better get down to the office. See you tonight, baby. Yeah, goodbye. Guess I'll go out the back way.
Oh, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Yeah, I'm going to work now, Bertie. You better watch the baby.
Yes, sir, I will.
Hope I can get the car out without Leela and Adeline seeing me.
You poor man. Haven't you made up your mind yet, Mr. Gildersleeve?
No, I haven't, Bertie.
My goodness, it's bad enough being engaged to two women without having them both live in the same house right next door.
Yes, well.
Yes, sir, Mr. Gildersleeve. You're trapped.
Bertie, shh, not so loud. I'm trying to get out without them hearing me.
Oh, I get it.
Goodbye, Bertie.
Goodbye, Mr. Gildersleeve. Good luck.
Well, shades are still down next door. Guess they're still asleep. I'll just sneak by their window. Made it. I'll open the garage door real easy. Oh, my goodness. Must oil that someday. Well, so far, so good. I'll back out real quiet. Looks like I'm going to make it. Ta-ta, girls. Have to wake up pretty early in the morning to catch Gildersleeve. Oh, they're shooting at me. A blowout.
That you, Throckmorton?
Hello, Adeline.
You,
Leela. Good morning, girls. Sorry I woke you up. Just had a little blowout. Old retread. Goodbye.
Rocco, now, you wait a minute. I want to talk to you. Yes, and I want a few words with you, too.
You do? What about?
You know very well what about. You've been dodging me for days now. I want to ask you a personal question. Just a moment. I want to ask Throckmorton a question.
Girls?
Pardon me, Cousin Leela. I'm talking to Throckmorton. Well, excuse me, Cousin Adeline. I'm talking to Throckmorton.
Don't fight, girls.
Well, I happen to be engaged to him. Well, I happen to be engaged to him, too.
Of course, you're both engaged to me. I mean...
Throckmorton, take him to sleep. Do you intend to marry your Adeline or not?
Marry you, Adeline? Why, certainly.
Throckmorton, how can you marry Adeline when you're going to marry me?
That's a very interesting question. Well, got to go to work.
Throckmorton, you come back here. I want an answer right now. So do I. We're going to settle this. You wait there, Throckmorton. I'm coming right down. I'm coming down, too. We're going to have a long talk.
That's what they think. They'll have to catch me first. Oh, morning, Peavy.
Oh, hello, Mr. Gildersleeve. My, you seem a little out of breath.
Yes, I decided to run to work this morning.
Well, some people say it's much healthier to run than to walk.
Certainly was this morning.
By the way, Mr. Gildersleeve, how are your two fiancés?
What? Oh, they're fine.
Have you decided yet which one is to be the future Mrs. Gildersleeve?
No, I haven't, Peavy. I just can't make up my mind.
Well, I've been giving your problem quite a bit of thought.
You have?
Yes, and I've come to one conclusion.
What's that?
You're in an awful mess.
Well, you're certainly a big help, Peavy. A fine friend you are. Now's the time I really need some advice.
Well, I was in a similar predicament when I was young. You might benefit by my experience.
Peavy, don't tell me you were engaged to two women.
No, not exactly. But while I was betrothed to Mrs. Peavy, another woman came into my life.
Really?
I hope to tell you.
Well, who was this other woman?
Well, her name was Fifi Latour. She was an actress.
Huh?
And she was crazy about me.
You don't say.
Yes, I do say. She was a soubrette in the road company at the Red Mill. She came out in the second act in black tights. And she sang that song, Just Because You're You, Dear. Just because...
Okay, Peavy. How do you know she was crazy about you?
Well, right in the middle of the song, she leaned over the footlights and winked in my direction.
Oh, for heaven's sake. Is that all?
I couldn't sleep all last night. I knew it was either Miss Latour or the future Mrs. Peavy. So the next day I went back to the theater, and what do you think?
What?
The show had left town and gone to Peoria.
Oh.
But I'll never forget her singing that song. Just because you're you, dear.
Peavy.
Just because you're you.
Peavy.
And then she winked at me. And the darn fool sitting next to me thought she was winking at him.
Ye gods, I should have known better than to come to you for advice. You're just married to one woman. You don't have any problems.
Well, no, I wouldn't say that.
Oh! I don't know.
It's about time you got home. I was getting worried about you.
Worried, Marjorie? I phoned you that I was having dinner downtown. Then I decided to go to a movie. Just felt like being alone.
Oh, I see. What picture did you see, Unky?
Picture? I don't know. I guess I didn't notice.
Oh. Well, the phone's been ringing all evening.
Oh, it has?
First Mrs. Ransom called, and then Miss Fairchild, and then
Mrs. Ransom called.
And they both left messages for you to call them back.
Thank you, my dear. Well, I'll call them sometime. Next month, maybe.
Poor Unky. You're really in trouble this time, aren't you?
Well, sort of.
Uncle Mort, you'll have to face them sometime. Haven't you decided yet which one you want to marry?
No, but I'm working on it.
You know, you remind me of the character in this play I'm studying.
Who's that?
Hamlet.
Who?
He couldn't make up his mind either. He wouldn't marry Ophelia, and then everybody thought he was crazy.
He wasn't so crazy. Leroy, it's almost 10 o'clock. Why aren't you in bed?
I was waiting up for the latest news flash. Have you decided who you're going to marry yet, Unc?
No, I haven't.
Gee, I wish you'd hurry up. The suspense is killing me.
Leroy, I will decide this in my own good time.
Well, if you can't make up your mind, why don't you flip a coin?
This is a serious matter, young man. Flip a coin. That's ridiculous.
Don't mind Leroy, Uncle Mort. I understand. It isn't easy to decide something important like this.
That's right, my dear. It takes a lot of thought. I'm the cautious type. That's why I haven't made many mistakes where women are concerned. Leroy. I don't want to hear another word about this.
Well, you got to make up your mind.
Leroy, go to bed.
Okay, good night.
I think I'll go too, Unky. Good night. And don't worry.
I won't. Good night, my dear. Wish I could stop worrying. I'll have to work this out some way. But how? Maybe I could flip a coin. No, that's a coward's way out. Now, let's see. When you pick a wife, you have to think about the future, too. Now, who'll be the best companion in later life? Now, just suppose I married Adeline. She's the stay-at-home type. I can just see us. 30 years from now, we'd be sitting by the fireside after dinner.
Throckmorton?
Yes, Adeline?
Isn't this nice, just sitting here together?
Yes, 'tis. I'm a little tired tonight.
I know, darling. You work so hard down at that water department.
Would you like to go to a movie tonight, dear?
No, let's just stay home. And tomorrow we'll go visit Leroy and his wife. And Leroy Jr.
All right.
I declare the little boy looks just like Leroy.
Yes, he does. Poor kid.
Oh, you.
We've had a wonderful 30 years, Adeline. Our children grown up and married. We have our health and our friends. And Truman's still president.
Yes, Throckmorton, we've been happy.
It's been wonderful. Yep. Guess I'd be pretty happy with Adeline, all right. I wonder about Leela. She's sort of a gadabout. Likes a good time. Wonder how we'd be 30 years from now.
Throckmorton.
Yes, Leela?
Are we staying home tonight?
Well, darling, I'm a little tired. Why don't we just stay here and watch the movies on the television?
Now, I'm tired of television movies. Every night the same thing. Hop along Cassidy. I want to go dancing and have fun.
We went to a dance last night.
Yes, and you just sat in the corner. Judge Hooker danced with me all evening.
Yes, but today the old goat can't get out of his wheelchair.
Oh, come on, Throckmorton.
Well, all right, Leela. Help me up. My back. For 30 years, nothing but dances and parties. Why didn't I marry Adeline? That's it. Adeline's the one, all right. My worries are over. But wait a minute. How do I get rid of Leela? That fella Hamlet thought he had worries. The piker.
You know, Pa came... Oh, hello, Bertie.
Hello, Mr. Wall. That Leroy.
What's the matter, Bertie?
That boy says I'm always saying what I'm saying.
You're always saying...
About parquet margarine, Mr. Wall.
Oh, you mean about what a grand flavor parquet has and things like that. And how it's just as nutritious as the most costly spreads, even though it costs about half as much.
That Leroy. He don't like talking, but he sure likes tasting.
Well, we probably all do a lot of talking about how parquet is like a rare luxury food. After all, parquet is prepared like a luxury from selected products of American farms. And it tastes like a luxury We all know it has that wonderful, sweet, light flavor, whether you spread it on waffles or biscuits, pancakes or bread.
That ain't what Leroy says I'm always saying.
Well, what are you always saying, Bertie?
Tastes like it should cost twice as much.
Well, that's just the plain truth. What's the matter with saying it?
That's what I'm saying.
Well, let's say something to our audience, Bertie. Friends, try Parquet. See if you don't find that you agree with Bertie, that it tastes like it should cost twice as much. That's Parkay, Parquet margarine made by Kraft. Well, the great Gildersleeve has finally made up his mind he wants to marry Adeline. But there's one catch in his matrimonial plans. He still has to break his engagement to Leela. There's only one thing to do in a case like that, and that's see a lawyer.
Well, Gildy, I must say this is a very interesting situation.
Yes, but how do I get out of it, Judge?
Well, let's review the case. You've gotten yourself engaged to two women.
I don't need a lawyer to tell me that.
Not only that, you became engaged to them at the same time.
All right, Hooker, what does that prove?
Proves you're the biggest boob in Summerfield.
Now, look here, you old goat. There's nothing funny about this. I'm in serious trouble. And since you're an alleged lawyer, I thought you might...
All right, my fat friend. Since you got yourself into this, I suppose I'll have to help you out.
Okay, start helping me.
Well, there are two ways to handle this. One way would be for you to be a man about it and simply go to Leela and tell her you've decided not to marry her.
What's the other way?
Or you might persuade her to break the engagement.
What? Leela never do that.
Well, there's more than one way to skin a cat, you know.
What do you mean?
Well, suppose you were to get Leela interested in another man. Then she might break her engagement to you.
I don't know, Judge. Who could we get?
Well, it should be a man who's younger and handsomer than you. Of course, that shouldn't be difficult. I would suggest myself, but I'm afraid I can't spare the time.
Oh, that's too bad.
Say, what about that young bank teller?
Who's that?
You know, Barney Caldwell.
Barney?
Leela used to go out with him when you and she were spatting.
That's right, Judge. She did kind of like Barney.
He has all the necessary qualifications. He's young, looks like a collar ad. It might work.
By George, Hooker, you're all right. Yes, sir. You've got something under your hat besides hair.
Well, I guess my upper story is occupied all right.
Certainly is, old friend. Well, see you later, Judge. I've got a little business to attend to at the bank. Yeah, glad I got here early. No crowd yet. Wonder what window Barney works at. Let me see. New accounts, loans. Oh, there he is. At that teller window over there. Oh, well, this won't take long. Just one woman ahead of me. Barney looks like a collar ad, all right. Look at those eyelashes. Well, I'll act like I just dropped in. You're sly, Gildersleeve.
35, 40, 45, $50, and 53 cents. There you are, Miss Scott. That makes it.
Thank you.
Not at all. Well, hello, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Hello, Barney.
Haven't seen you for a long time.
No, that's right. Just happened to be passing by. Thought I'd drop in and transact a little business.
Oh? Well, I thought you banked over at the Farmers and Merchants.
Well, I do, Barney, but there's no reason why I can't give you a little of my business.
Oh, thanks. What can I do for you?
Well, I wonder if you'd give me $1 worth of nickels.
Why, of course.
A little short of nickels at my bank this morning. Guess everybody's making phone calls.
I see. Well, there you are.
Thank you very much, Barney. Nice to see you again, Barney.
Thank you.
We ought to get together sometime.
Well, all right.
And Barney, an old friend of yours is back in town.
Who's that?
Leela Ransom.
Oh, she is?
Yeah. And there's a certain person she'd like to see. Guess who?
Who?
A handsome young bank teller.
But, Mr. Gildersleeve, I thought Leela was sort of interested in you.
Me? No. Oh, Leela like me? That's ridiculous. She'd naturally prefer a man like you. You're younger than I am. You're better looking.
I guess you're right.
Well, Leela's staying with her cousin right next door to me. Why don't we drop over and see him sometime?
All right, Miss Gildersleeve.
Sometime real soon.
Well...
How about tonight?
Tonight? Well, I suppose I...
Good. You come by my house about 8, and we'll go over and see the girls together. Goodbye.
Oh, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Yes?
You forgot your nickels.
Nickels? Oh, yes, thank you. See you tonight.
Throckmorton.
Good evening, Leela.
And who's this? Why, it's Barney Caldwell.
Hello, Leela.
Well, how on earth did you two ever get together?
Yes. Aren't you going to invite us in, Leela?
Well, of course. Come right in.
Thank you.
After you, Barney.
Throckmorton, where have you been hiding? I want to talk to you.
Some other time, Leela can't talk in front of company. Where's Adeline?
Oh, she'll be down in a minute. Sit down, Barney. And, Throckmorton, you can sit here with me on the sofa.
No, I think Barney ought to sit next to you.
What?
Well, after all, Leela, he's a guest. Go on, Barney.
Well, all right.
That's a boy. I'll just sit over here in this big chair. My, you look beautiful tonight, Leela.
Well, thank you, sir.
Don't you think she looks beautiful, Barney?
Yes, I do.
Yes, sir. And you look mighty handsome yourself, Barney, in that gray herringbone suit.
Well, thanks.
Don't you think Barney looks handsome tonight, Leela?
Indeed, I do.
In fact, you make a very handsome couple.
Throckmorton, what's gotten into you tonight?
Me? Why, nothing. What makes you ask that?
Well, it seems to me that
Well, it's nice of you to call, Throckmorton.
Hello, Adeline.
Oh, mercy.
I didn't know we had company.
Cousin Adeline, may I present Mr. Barney Caldwell. Barney, this is my older cousin, Adeline Fairchild.
How do you do?
Pleased to meet you, sir.
Barney's sort of an old friend of Leela's.
Well, Cousin Leela, how on earth did you ever get such an attractive friend?
Adeline, want to come over and sit down by me?
Adeline can take my place next to Barney.
No, I mean, Leela, where'll you sit?
What's Throckmorton, darling? I'll just come right over and plump myself down on the arm of your chair.
But...
Isn't that cozy?
Well, Mr. Caldwell, I believe I will sit down by you.
Of course, Miss Fairchild.
Why don't you just call me Adeline?
All right, and you call me Barney.
All right, Barney.
What's the matter, Throckmorton, darling? Aren't you comfortable?
Oh, yes, very comfortable, Leela. Adeline?
What line of work are you in, Barney?
Well, I'm connected with the Summerfield First National.
Oh, a banker.
Well, I'm just a teller at present.
Adeline?
Throckmorton, now you just pay attention to your Leela. You haven't said boo to me.
Oh? Well, boo. Adeline.
Barney, I'll bet it won't be long before you work yourself right up to vice president.
Well, I am trying to advance myself. Right now I'm taking a correspondence course in first and second mortgages.
Oh, why, that's wonderful. I've always wanted to know about first and second mortgages.
You have?
Uh-huh.
Well, I'd be glad to explain them to you.
Adeline, Leela, get your head out of the way. Adeline, Barney, I just had a wonderful idea. Let's all go to a movie.
Oh, that's a wonderful idea, Throckmorton.
Sure, we'll all go. Leela and Barney and Adeline and me.
Well, I'd rather just stay at home and hear about first and second mortgages. That is, if Barney doesn't mind.
But Adeline...
Why, I'd be delighted. You don't often find a girl that's interested in the banking game.
But Barney...
I know. Why don't you and Cousin Leela run along to a movie without us?
Oh, what a marvelous idea. Come on, Throckmorton.
Wait a minute.
Well, I'm sure you'd like to be alone with Leela, Throckmorton. After all, you two are engaged.
Mr. Gildersleeve, you're engaged to Leela?
Well, sort of.
Well, congratulations. Well, you two lovebirds just run along. Adeline and I'll stay here.
But I'm engaged to Adeline, too.
What?
Well, not anymore, you're not, Throckmorton. You can just stay engaged to that girl that's practically sitting on your lap.
But Adeline...
Come on, Throckmorton.
What movie do you want to see, Leela?
Oh, I don't want to see any movie, Throckmorton.
What?
I just wanted to get you alone where we could talk.
No, Leela.
Throckmorton, there's something I wanted to tell you.
What's that?
Our engagement is off.
Off?
You don't want to marry little Leela? Cousin Adeline's the girl of your choice. Why, it's as plain as the nose on your face.
Well,
Yes, poor Leela knows she's lost you. So, I'll just make a little curtsy and gracefully step aside. After all, we're old friends, Throckmorton, and it's your happiness that counts. So I'm leaving town.
You are? Gosh, Leela, you're true blue.
And Throckmorton...
Yes?
I have a teensy-weensy confession to make.
What's that?
Well, all the time I was engaged to you, I was sort of promised to somebody else, too.
You were? Who?
Wildcat Hathaway. He's been down in Texas looking for oil.
Oh?
I got a wire from him today. One of his wells came in. So I'm going back to him. He needs me.
Sure, Leela. You just go right ahead.
And Throckmorton, I hope you find every happiness with Cousin Adeline.
Thanks, Leela. I'm sure we... Wait a minute. Adeline's back there with that collar ad. See you later, Leela. Adeline, turn up those lights.
Now, more names of winners in Parquet's $50,000 baby naming contest. Here are the four entrants who won 1949 four-door Ford sedans in the fourth week's contest.
I want to hear this.
Mrs. Willie Lou Taylor of St. Louis, Missouri. Mrs. Buford W. Tucker of Donaldson, Tennessee. Mrs. Rudy Blaha, Jr. of Los Angeles, California. Mrs. A.N. Prestoff of Westfield, New Jersey.
Great.
Our congratulations and best wishes to the four of you, and to the 140 other prize winners who will be notified by mail. We hope that all of you will continue to use Parquet, the margarine that tastes like it should cost twice as much. That's Parquet margarine made by Kraft.
Well, I guess I let you down, baby. Yes, I did. Adeline wouldn't even talk to me last night. And now I've lost her. How am I going to adopt you if I don't...
Oh, Throckmorton.
Adeline.
How's my cute little old husband-to-be?
Husband-to-be? But Adeline, I thought our engagement was off.
Oh, I was just pretending, lover boy. It never hurts to make a man jealous.
But I thought you and Barney, he's so handsome.
I don't want a handsome man, Throckmorton. I just want you.
Yeah. You do? You hear that, baby? I'm engaged again. That's what I think, too. Good night, folks.
The Great Gildersleeve is played by Harold Perry, Adeline by Miss Una Merkel, and Leela by Shirley Ritzel. Be sure to listen in next Wednesday and every Wednesday for the further adventures of the Great Gildersleeve.
Please, brothers, make a note of this. Now, just in time for Thanksgiving feasting, Kraft has plenty of aged natural American for you. Since before the war, the demand for cheese has been so great that it's been difficult to set aside enough to send to the curing rooms. But for the last year, Kraft has been selecting fine golden wheels, guarding them for months while they develop that mellow goodness that comes only from aging. So now, Kraft has plenty of aged natural American, and it's waiting for you at your dealers. Tomorrow, ask him for a big wedge of aged natural American, the Kraft kind.
This is NBC, the National Broadcasting Company.
The Kraft Foods Company presents Harold Perry as the Great Gildersleeve. The Great Gildersleeve is brought to you by the Kraft Foods Company, makers of Parquet margarine. Millions of women all over America serve Parquet because it tastes so good. Why, Parquet tastes like it should cost twice as much.
To market, to get some Parquet. Home again, try it today. You like it, you love it, like millions who say their favorite margarine is
Parkay, Parquet margarine, made by Kraft. Well, the Great Gildersleeve is facing the new year with a big problem on his mind.
Adeline.
Yes, that's his problem. Adeline Fairchild, his charming bride-to-be. One of the reasons the great man and Adeline decided to get married was so they could adopt the little baby girl the Gildersleeve family's been taking care of lately. Well, the baby is back with her father now, but Adeline is still very much there. So, to marry or not to marry, that is the question.
Yes.
It's enough to make a man pace the floor.
Adeline's a wonderful woman. She'd make a fine wife. But do I really want to get married? I don't know. Anyhow, it wouldn't be fair to back out of it right now, just because the baby's gone. It'd be nice to be married, I think. But I've been a bachelor too long to change now.
Mr. Gildersleeve.
Oh, hello, Bertie.
You all right, Mr. Gildersleeve?
What? Oh, sure, I'm all right.
Oh, thought I heard you walking up and down in here.
Walking up and down? Well...
I hope dinner didn't disagree with you.
No, I feel fine.
Yes, sir. But you look kind of worried. Sure there's nothing bothering you?
Bother me? Of course not.
Well, you sure look worried. Something wrong with the water department?
Bertie, there is nothing wrong.
Yes, sir. But you sure look worried. Must be something bothering you.
Believe me, Bertie, there's nothing bothering me. In fact, I'm all right. I'm happy.
Yes, sir.
I'm very happy.
Yes, sir.
I'm just about the happiest man in the whole world.
Yes, sir. For the happiest man in the world, you sure look worried.
I sure feel worried, too. I'll have to make up my mind pretty soon. Adeline must think it's funny I haven't mentioned the marriage all week. She hasn't said anything either. Guess she's waiting for me.
Hi, Unc.
Hello, Leroy.
What are you doing?
What?
What are you walking around the room for?
I'm in training, Leroy. I'm going out for the low hurdles in the Olympic Games.
What? Oh. Say, Unc, can I talk to you about something?
Not right now, Leroy.
It's awfully important.
Not right now, I told you.
I've got a problem.
You've got a problem.
Huh?
Nothing, my boy. What's your trouble?
Well, Elmer's lonesome.
Elmer?
My turtle.
Oh, my goodness.
He hasn't been eating lately. I think he's lonesome up in my room all day by himself.
What do you want me to do? Go up there and sit with him?
Well, I thought I might buy another turtle to keep him company.
Well, we'll see.
I saw a swell turtle downtown for only 75 cents.
Leroy, we'll talk about it some other time.
But,
The subject is closed. I've got other things on my mind right now.
Well, what about Elmer?
Elmer will just have to work this thing out for himself.
But,
Leroy.
Okay.
A turtle. A lonesome turtle. Elmer doesn't know when he's well off. I better stop this. I'm wearing out the rug.
Unky.
What?
Have you seen my movie magazine? I left it down here somewhere.
No, I haven't, Marjorie. I don't read movie magazines.
Oh, maybe it's under the sofa pillows. It had Gary Cooper on the cover.
That's very interesting.
He was wearing a checkered shirt.
Good for him.
Are you sure you haven't seen it, Unky?
No, I haven't. And Marjorie, will you please stop tearing up the room?
My, but you're jumpy tonight.
Well,
Don't you feel well?
I feel fine.
Well, there's something on your mind. Is it Miss Fairchild?
What? Adeline? Of course not. What made you think that?
Well, something's the matter. She still wants to marry you, doesn't she?
Huh? Why shouldn't she?
Well, I just thought now that you two can't adopt the baby, she might have changed her mind.
You think so? Say, that would be awful, wouldn't it?
Well, I know you have a fatal fascination, but it's just possible Miss Fairchild might be able to resist your charms.
Well, it's possible, all right.
Of course.
You know, Marjorie, you may be right. Adeline hasn't said anything about our marriage all week. By George, maybe she has changed her mind.
Why, Unky, you sound happy about it.
Happy? Who's happy? See you later, my dear.
Where are you going, Uncle
Over to see
Mort?
Adeline. Want to make sure she's changed her mind. I mean, she hasn't changed her mind. Where's my coat? Oh! Didn't see the coffee table. And look what's under it. Your movie magazine, Gary Cooper. He looks wonderful in that checkered shirt. Hiya, Gary. Goodbye.
Sometimes I wonder about Unky.
Funny. Never occurred to me that Adeline might not want to marry me. Maybe I've just been worrying about nothing. Sure, it'll be better this way. I'll just let her break it off and then... hello, Adeline.
Throckmorton, come in.
Thank you.
Didn't expect to see you tonight.
Well, I just thought I'd come over and surprise you.
I'm glad you did. Sit down.
Thank you. How have you been, Adeline?
Just fine, sir. How have you been?
Fine. Yeah, just fine. Well, here it is, Adeline, almost New Year's.
Yes.
You know what they say about New Year's? Gives you a chance to start over. Correct last year's mistakes.
Yes, it does.
Yeah, off with the old, on with the new. That's what they say.
Throckmorton, what's the matter with you tonight?
Me? Why, nothing. Nothing at all. Adeline.
Yes?
Adeline, we haven't talked much about our marriage lately.
No, we haven't. I'm glad you brought it up, Throckmorton. There's something I wanted to tell you about that.
There is?
I've been thinking things over, Throckmorton, and I...
Yes?
Oh, nothing.
Go on, Adeline. What were you going to tell me?
Well, maybe you wouldn't like to hear it.
Oh, yes, I would.
Well...
That's all right, Adeline. If you're thinking of changing our plans, I'll understand. Of course, I'll be heartbroken.
But Throckmorton...
Believe me, I wouldn't blame you for anything you do. After all, I'm no prize. I'm just a middle-aged water commissioner. I'm fat. Well, stylishly stout.
Oh, now, Throckmorton...
It's really up to you. Don't try to spare my feelings. Won't be easy ending my days as a lonely old bachelor. But I'll be brave. Now, what was it you wanted to tell me?
Why, darling, I just wanted to tell you that I think we should get married right away.
Huh? Is that what you wanted to tell me?
Yes, you sweet old thing. I'll marry you, even if you're all middle-aged and fat. So you just go right on down and see the minister tomorrow so we can set the date.
The minister?
Yes, and don't you worry, Throckmorton. You'll never be a lonely old bachelor.
No, I guess I won't. Judge.
Yes, I came over to challenge you to a game of checkers, but it seems you were over calling on your light of love.
Yes, yes.
So I decided to stay and play Parcheesi with the children.
You didn't stay over at Miss Fairchild's very long, Unky.
Well, I thought I'd come home early and get some sleep.
What's the matter, Gildy? Don't you get enough sleep down at the water department?
Very funny, you old goat.
Now, Gildy, we all know you're a very fine water commissioner.
Everything work out all right, Uncle Mort?
What?
You know, with Miss Fairchild. What happened?
Well...
What's this all about?
Well, you might as well know it now. Adeline and I are going to be married right away.
Well, that's wonderful news.
Gee, no kidding? Oh, Uncle Mort, so you talked Miss Fairchild into it.
I sure did.
When's the happy day? When's the happy day going to be, Gildy?
Happy day? Oh, the wedding. Yeah, well, pretty soon, I guess. I'm going to see Reverend Prescott tomorrow.
Oh, I can't wait for the wedding. I'll be a bridesmaid. And I'll be a flower girl.
The bells are ringing for you and your gang.
All right, Judge.
Mr. Gildersleeve, what's going on in here?
Bertie, Unky and Miss Fairchild are going to get married right away.
Isn't that wonderful? Congratulations, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Thank you, Bertie.
Well, you won't look right no more now, Mr. Gildersleeve. You'll be happy.
Yes, of course.
Yes, sir, you'll be happy.
Well, Gildy, old friend, this is one of life's golden moments. So I'll let you savor it with your little family. I'll just say congratulations, old friend, and adieu.
Thank you, Horace. Good night.
Good night, Judge. Good night.
Good night, all. The bells are ringing for you and your gang.
Oh, Uncle Mort, I'm so glad it turned out this way. Congratulations.
Thank you, my dear.
Yeah, I guess you're pretty happy, Unc.
Oh, yes. Yes, I am. I'm very happy. I've never been so happy in my life.
Boy, what a character. Mr. Ward, you know what I think?
What's that, Bertie?
I think we ought to have a slogan for parquet. Because everybody's going to like parquet margarine once they try it. But they got to remember to try it.
Well, a slogan like
Like parquet tastes so good, tastes like it should cost twice as much.
Well, whether or not that's a slogan, Bertie, it certainly is true. And parquet tastes so good because it's made from the carefully selected products of American farms. It's actually prepared by Kraft with all the care of a rare luxury food. The nice part is, though every pound of parquet gives you all the nutritional value of the most expensive spreads, plus 15,000 units of essential vitamin A, parquet costs only about half as much.
That's right, Mr. Wall. And as good as that cost is, the taste is even better.
And wonderful on hot rolls.
Or muffins, Mr. Wall, or waffles, or pancakes, and wonderful for cooking, too. It's just good eating no matter what way you use it. Tastes like it should cost twice as much.
So, friends, why not serve parquet on your table this week? Ask for some tomorrow. That's parquet, P-A-R-K-A-Y, parquet margarine made by Kraft. Well, now back to our happy bridegroom. The great Gildersleeve seems to be spending a very sleepless night.
Wish I could get some sleep. Every time I close my eyes, I hear that music. There it goes again. Why doesn't it stop? Maybe if I turn over, it'll go away. It's gone. Well, maybe I can get some sleep. Sure. I just close my eyes.
Do you, Adeline Fairchild, take this man to be your lawful wedded husband?
I do.
And do you, Throckmorton B. Gildersleeve, take this woman to be your lawful wedded wife?
No, I don't.
You don't?
No, I don't. What a night. I don't want to get married. I like being a bachelor. How am I going to tell poor Adeline? Well, I'll just have to do it. I'll tell her the first thing in the morning. Courage, Gildersleeve. You're not afraid. Courage. Well, what are you waiting for, Gildersleeve? You said you were going to tell her this morning. Just knock on her door and get it over with. All right, by George, I will.
Why, good morning, Throckmorton.
Good morning, Adeline. Here's your morning paper. Goodbye. Good morning, Peavy.
Oh, hello, Mr. Gildersleeve.
What's this? I suppose the judge told you.
And how is the happy bridegroom this morning?
Oh, I'm all right, I guess. Peavy, I just came in for a cigar, and I'm in a hurry.
Oh, yes. I suppose you can't wait till you see the minister.
That's what you think.
How's that?
Nothing, Peavy. You just give me the cigar.
Oh, of course. There you are.
Thanks.
And, Mr. Gildersleeve, you can light it when you get home. You and Miss Fairchild make such a good match.
Heaven's sake, Peavy.
That was a little witticism, Mr. Gildersleeve.
I know, Peavy.
You make a good match. Don't you get it?
Yes. Peavy, that joke is older than you are.
Well, I wouldn't say that.
Oh, I'll see you later.
Just a minute, Mr. Gildersleeve. I have something to tell you.
What's that?
Well, it's my pleasant duty to invite you to the Jolly Boys tonight.
Tonight?
Yes, we're having a little celebration in honor of your coming wedding.
Oh, you are?
Yes, sir. We're going to give you a real send-off.
But, Peavy, I don't want you to do that.
Oh, we're glad to do it.
Yes, I know.
It's the least we can do for a fellow Jolly Boy. It'll be a night you'll never forget, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Peavy, you don't understand.
There'll be speeches, singing, all the cokes you can drink.
Peavy, I don't want a party.
Now, you just go see the minister and leave the party to us.
But
there'll be a hot time in the old town tonight.
Oh, what's the use? Over the barber shop. The Jolly Boys are all waiting for me, I guess. Just have to tell them I'm not going to see the minister. I'm not going to get married. I'll tell Adeline tomorrow. Positively. Listen to them. They're a swell bunch of fellows. They went to all this trouble, too, just for me. Well, I've got to tell them.
Well, if it isn't the guest of honor.
Hello.
How are you, Commissioner?
I'm all right.
Hello, Commissioner.
Hello, Chief.
So you're about to take the fatal step.
Well,
marriage isn't a step. It's a big jump. Ho, 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 ho.
Yeah, it certainly is.
Well, gentlemen, shall we begin the festivities in honor of our bridegroom-to-be?
Sure. Judge, there's something I want to say to all of you.
Now, Gildy, let us make the speeches first. You get your turn later.
But, Judge...
Gather around the table, everybody, and bring your coat.
Now, wait a minute, fellas. I really want...
Now, Gildy, you sit here as guest of honor. Quiet, everybody.
All right.
Hello, Jolly Boys, on this auspicious evening.
Judge, I've got to say something.
Gildy, I told you you'll get your turn later.
Now, look, the commish wants to talk now. He knows after he gets married, he won't get a chance.
That will do, Floyd. Fellow jolly boys, on this auspicious evening, it is only fitting we start with a toast to our dear friend who is leading the ranks of bachelorhood.
Mm-hmm.
This toast will be rendered by Summerfield's leading pharmacist, Mr. Richard Peavy. Peavy?
Thank you. They say when you wed, you can't go wrong. You settle down in a flat. They say married life is just a song. No, I wouldn't say that.
Well, we thought you wouldn't mind a little humor, Gildy. We all know you'll be very happy with Miss Fairchild.
Of course, Mr. Gildersleeve. I was only joking.
Well, enough of frivolity. Now, my friend...
Judge, if you'll just let me say
Quiet, Gildy. I have the floor. Friends, I have just a few words to say.
Good.
I heard that, Floyd.
Go on, Judge.
Thank you. Jolly boy Gildersleeve, I have a confession to make.
Hmm?
I must admit that there are those of us who doubted that this marriage between you and Miss Fairchild would ever take place.
You did?
Yeah. You're such a confirmed bachelor. We feared that at the last moment you might evade this marriage.
Well,
and disappoint this fine young Southern woman who has put her trust in you.
Yeah, we should have known you wouldn't be a skunk, Commish.
Yes, we apologize for misjudging you, Gildy. You've proven yourself a gentleman and a jolly boy. We're proud of you.
Fellas, I don't deserve this.
Sure you do, Commish. You're a great guy. All together, men.
What are you going to do?
For he's a jolly good fellow. For he's a jolly good fellow. For he's a jolly good fellow. Hey, Commish, where you going?
See you later, fellas. I have to see a minister about a wedding. Hope you don't mind my dropping in this late, Dr. Prescott.
Why, not at all. I was just working on my sermon for next Sunday.
Oh? Well, don't let me interrupt you, Reverend. Doctor.
It's quite all right. I was looking for an excuse to stop for a while anyway. What can I do for you, Mr. Gildersleeve?
Well, you see, Adeline, that is, Miss Fairchild and I are planning to get married.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you. And we'd like you to officiate at our wedding.
Why, I'd be delighted, Mr. Gildersleeve. When did you and Miss Fairchild decide to get married?
Well, we became engaged several weeks ago. That's when I was taking care of the little baby girl.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. So we thought we might get married and adopt the baby.
I see. I understand the baby is back with her father now.
Yeah, that's right. But there's no reason why I shouldn't marry Adeline anyway. I mean, I want to. Very much.
Oh. Yes.
Adeline will make a good wife, all right. She's understanding, friendly, companionable.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd like to set the date. Get it over with. That is, get it all set.
Mr. Gildersleeve, may I ask you a question?
Yes.
Are you quite sure you want to get married?
What? Certainly. Of course I am.
You're really in love with Miss Fairchild, deeply?
Well...
You're not just going through with this marriage from a sense of duty?
Well, Dr. Prescott, you see...
Yes, I think I do see. Mr. Gildersleeve, I believe you're trying to do something that's very honorable and fine. But I'm not sure that you're being fair to either yourself or Miss Fairchild.
Oh, but I can't disappoint Adeline. Wouldn't be right.
Sometimes it's hard to know just what is right. But I sincerely believe that a marriage based only on duty or an obligation can never be a happy one.
You're right, Dr. Prescott, but what am I going to do?
I think you owe it to Miss Fairchild to be honest, don't you?
Yes.
Good night, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Huh? Oh, good night. And thanks.
Oh, Throckmorton.
Evening, Adeline.
Come in.
Thanks. I'm glad you're still up.
Well, I was sort of hoping you'd come over tonight.
Yeah, well,
here I am.
Please, sit down.
Thanks. Adeline?
Yes?
There's something I want to tell you.
Yes?
Adeline, rather warm in here, isn't it?
Throckmorton, when two people are planning to get married, I think they should be very honest with each other, don't you?
Oh, yes, I do.
If you had something to tell me, I'd want you to say it.
Oh, yes, of course. Adeline?
And if I have something to tell you, I should say it, too.
What?
I'm going to be honest with you, Throckmorton. I really don't want to go through with our wedding.
Huh? You don't?
You're a wonderful person, and I'm very fond of you, but, well, I've been thinking about it a lot this past week, and I realize now I'm not really in love with you.
Oh.
I guess when we were making all those plans to adopt the baby, I just got carried away.
You did?
Oh, I know I should have told you before. I tried to tell you last night, but I felt so sorry for you when you talked about ending your days as a lonely old bachelor.
Lonely old Oh, yeah.
Oh, I hope you won't be heartbroken over this.
Well, this is quite a shock, Adeline.
I know I gave you my word, and I'll still go through with the marriage if you want me to.
Oh, no, I mean, it's all right.
I'm sure this is better for both of us.
It sure is. I mean, you're so right.
And, Throckmorton, there's no reason why we can't go on being good friends.
No, of course not. Adeline.
Yes?
Since we're not going to get married and we're just good friends, how about a little kiss?
Throckmorton!
Yeah, it's much nicer this way. And Happy New Year.
Do you ever serve your cooked vegetables topped with golden, delicious parquet? There's nothing better on creamy mashed potatoes or hot 7-minute cabbage. And you can use parquet margarine generously because it costs less. Yes, nutritious as it is, reinforced with important vitamin A as it is, parquet costs only about half as much as the most expensive spreads. Try this margarine with a light, delicate luxury taste. Try it in cooking as well as a delicious spread for bread. See for yourself that parquet tastes like it should cost twice as much. That's Parkay, parquet margarine, made by Kraft.
All of us who bring you this program each week would like to wish you the best of everything during the coming year. Yes, sir? A Happy New Year from...
Una Merkel,
Walter Tetley,
Mary Lee Robb,
Lillian Randolph,
Earl Ross,
Dick LeGrand, Arthur Q. Bryan,
Ken Christie,
John Wald,
and me, Harold Perry.
And from Gene Stone and Jack Robinson, who wrote tonight's show.
Oh?
John Elliott and Andy White, our other writers.
Oh, yeah.
From Jack Meakin and the orchestra. Monty Fraser, our sound effects man.
Oh, Monty.
Ray Ferguson, our engineer. Fran Van Hartesfeld, our director.
Yeah.
And from our sponsors, the Kraft Foods Company. We all hope that our shows will bring you a lot of pleasure during the coming year.
Good night.
Have you had a hankering for that old-fashioned, aged, natural American cheese? If so, you'll be glad to know that now, for the first time since before the war, Kraft has plenty of those mellow, golden wheels. Since 1941, the demand for cheese has been so great that it's been difficult to set aside enough for aging. But now, at long last, Kraft has enough to supply your dealer with all he needs. Ask him for a big wedge cut from a golden wheel of mellow, good, aged, natural American. Just be sure that it's the kind that's been carefully aged by the master cheesemakers of Kraft.
is NBC, the National Broadcasting Company.
Portions of the following program are transcribed. The Kraft Foods Company, makers of Kraft Quality Foods, presents Harold Perry as the Great Gildersleeve. The Great Gildersleeve is brought to you by the Kraft Foods Company, makers of the famous cheese food Velveeta. Everybody goes for Velveeta's rich yet mild cheddar cheese flavor in snacks, in sandwiches, and in hot dishes. And Velveeta, you know, helps supply important food values from milk. It's as digestible as milk itself. That's why smart homemakers keep Velveeta on hand regularly to spread or slice and to melt for grand economical hot dishes. Tomorrow, get Velveeta, the cheese food of Kraft quality. Well, the Christmas spirit has really taken over the Great Gildersleeve's house. Tinsel and bells, gifts being tucked away in every nook and corner. What excitement. The water commissioner can scarcely sleep at night.
Lumpy mattress. I shouldn't have hidden Leroy's bicycle under my bed.
And all the wonderful mysteries of the days before Christmas. Hidden parcels, closet doors all locked.
Leroy, what you doing peeking through that keyhole?
I wasn't peeking.
Looking through a keyhole into a dark closet. You can't see nothing in there.
Yeah, I know it.
Come on, let's get a flashlight.
Now it's coming on Christmas Eve.
Hey, where's Unc? Is that all the presents you're putting under the tree?
Well, that's all for now, Leroy. I may have a couple of other little items to bring down after you're snug in your bed.
Yeah?
While visions of sugar plums dance through your head.
That's something I can never figure out. What's a sugar plum?
Well,
Make room coming through.
Well, Marjorie with her little presents.
Little presents is right. Holy smokes, you can carry them all in one hand. What a cheapskate.
Now, Leroy.
It's all right, Unky. It doesn't bother me a bit.
What dinky little packages. I bet everybody gets a doily.
The size of the package, my boy, doesn't mean a thing. It's the thought that counts.
Yeah, I know.
This is going to be the best Christmas we ever had, Unky.
Well, it could be.
I have a big surprise for you.
For me?
I know, it's a motorcycle.
Yeah.
No, it's not a motorcycle. It's a wonderful surprise for a wonderful uncle.
Oh, Marjorie, don't hug me so tight.
Oop. I heard something crack. Were they ribs?
No, Leroy, 3 cigars. Oh, well, I'll give them to Judge Hooker. I'll tell him they're a new brand of cigar with hinges in the middle. For smoking in phone booths.
I can hardly wait, Uncle.
Now, Marjorie, I hope you didn't buy me something expensive.
You'll never guess what it is.
Hmm?
Oh, that must be Bronco.
Yeah, that's Bronco, all right. He always rings the bell like a bear was chasing him.
Hello, Bronco. Come in.
Hiya, Marge, honey.
Well, come in, Bronco.
Merry Christmas, Mr. Gildersleeve. Leroy?
Merry Christmas to you, Bronco.
Yeah, Merry Christmas, honey.
Leroy.
Little brothers. You can leave your coat on, Bronco. We're all going over to the high school auditorium tonight.
Oh?
They're having the Kraft Choral Club from Chicago.
Wow, that's very nice, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Yeah, a lot of fine voices. Beautiful music.
What are they going to sing, Unc? That opera stuff?
No, Leroy. Christmas carols.
Bronco, I told Unky I have a surprise for him tonight.
Yeah, quite a surprise.
Oh? Is Bronco in on this, too? How about a little tip, Bronco?
Oh, I couldn't do that, Mr. Gildersleeve.
I don't know what it is, but Bertie does.
Bertie? Well, you children clean up the front room. I think I'll drift out to the kitchen and have a little talk with Bertie.
You won't get anything out of Bertie, Unky.
Well, I'm not trying to, Marjorie. I just want to see Bertie about arrangements for this evening. Of course, it wouldn't hurt to pick up a small clue. I love Christmas. Bertie!
Yes, Miss Gildersleeve?
thought I'd come out and see if you're all set for tonight.
Yes, sir. Bertie's all set.
Fine. Marjorie has a little surprise for me this evening.
Yes?
Of course, I know what it is.
Yes, sir.
I'm sure you know what it is, too, Bertie.
Yes, sir.
That is, you may know what it is, but just so you'll be sure, Bertie, you write what you think it is on this piece of paper, and I'll write what I know it is. Then we'll exchange pieces of paper.
All right, Mr. Gildersleeve, here's my grocery pencil.
There. Now we exchange, Bertie.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Let's see what Bertie wrote. You ain't trapping me. Let's face it, Bertie. Marjorie's gone out and bought me a very nice present of some kind, and I'm a little worried about it.
Oh?
See, I don't have anything very spectacular for Marjorie. Just the usual presents for a girl.
Well, don't worry about that, Mr. Gildersleeve. Miss Marjorie ain't worried about what she's going to get this year. She's a grown-up lady now.
I know, Bertie, but I've got to give her something a little bit special. After all, she has this big surprise for me.
Pretty late to go buying anything now, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Yeah, that's right. By George, Bertie, I just had a great idea. You remember a long time ago I said when Marjorie grew up, I was going to give her my mother's diamond ring?
Yes, sir.
I was going to surprise her with it on her next birthday. But what's wrong with Christmas?
There's nothing wrong with it. Absolutely nothing.
I'll do it, Bertie. I've got the ring up in my dresser drawer. I'll go down to Mr. Peavy's and get a fancy box for it.
Oh, that sure will please her.
You bet. Now, Bertie, don't you say a word about this to Marjorie.
No, sir. I ain't tell nobody nothing.
Don't you even give her a little hint.
I ain't tell nobody nothing.
Fine. What time is dinner?
I ain't tell nobody. Oh, I mean 6 o'clock.
Good old Bertie. Well, hello, Peavy.
Hello, Mr. Gildersleeve. What can I do for you this Christmas Eve?
Peavy, I need a box. Something very fancy.
Well, what would you like to have in it?
Nothing, Peavy. I just want a little empty box. It's for a Christmas present.
Empty box, eh? You're playing a little practical joke on somebody, are you?
No, Peavy, it's for a ring. I want a box for a ring.
Oh, well, why didn't you say so?
Do you have one?
I don't think so.
Peavy, you must have something around here. There's a lot of little boxes there in the showcase.
Those are all full of cold tablets.
Oh, for goodness.
How about an aspirin box? You could take the aspirin out.
Peavy, this is Marjorie's Christmas present. I'm giving her my mother's diamond ring. Most wonderful surprise of her life. Now, come on, Peavy.
Well, I think I can find you something.
Attaboy. Look at this ring. Isn't that a beauty?
My.
I've just been waiting for Marjorie to grow up so I could give it to her.
It makes me feel a little old, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Oh?
Seems like only yesterday that Marjorie was in here dangling her pigtails in a chocolate sundae.
Yeah, those pigtails are up in the attic now. I kept them both.
Very sweet girl, Marjorie.
Yes, she is, Peavy. I was thinking this afternoon while Marjorie and Leroy and I were decorating the tree how much those children mean to me. How I've cared for them, watched them grow. Yeah, they're everything I have, Peavy.
It's nice to feel that way. Makes a nice Christmas, too. All the stockings hung up by the chimney.
You bet. Too bad you didn't have any children, Peavy. Only 2 stockings on your mantel?
No, we have 3. Mrs. Peavy hangs up both of hers.
Oh, I've got to run, Peavy. I'm picking up Miss Milford, and we're all going over to the auditorium to hear the craft chorus. Why don't you folks drop over to the house later, Peavy? Christmas Eve, you know.
Well, thank you, Mr. Gildersleeve, and happy Christmas, Carol.
Yeah, see you later, Peavy. Well, the auditorium's almost full. Yeah, let's sit down here, Catherine.
Thank you, Throckmorton.
You look lovely this evening.
Thank you. I feel like a debutante with this corsage you sent me.
Well, what the heck? It's Christmas. I gave the florist $3.75 and told him to shoot the works. Who's that?
Look up here in the roof.
Leroy!
Oh, no. Where is he?
Way up there in the balcony, eating peanuts. Leroy, watch those shells.
Oh, look, there's Bronco and Marjorie.
Yeah, you can't miss Bronco. What a moose.
Aren't they cute together?
Yeah. You care to put your coat over the back of the seat? Get it off your shoulders?
Thank you.
Nice evening gown. Love concerts.
Throckmorton, the curtain is going up.
Ladies and gentlemen, on this Christmas Eve, it is our pleasure to present the Kraft Choral Club under the direction of Gerhard Schroff.
Well, fine-looking group, all in tuxedos. Catherine, I'm going to give you a little preview of a surprise I have for Marjorie tonight. What do you think of this?
Oh, what a gorgeous ring.
I beg your pardon. Oh. Excuse me, please.
Oop, the judge, late again.
Well, Gildy. Good evening, Miss Milford.
Good evening, Judge Hooker.
Sit down, Judge. You're interrupting something important.
I am? Oh, are you presenting your lady fair with a ring?
Oh, for...
Judge, please. This is Throckmorton's gift to Marjorie.
Yeah.
Horace, why don't you drop over after the concert and watch Marjorie's eyes light up when she sees this, huh?
Thank you, Gildy. I'll be happy to.
Hey, the Peavies are coming over.
They're about to sing again, Throckmorton.
Yeah. I'd invite all the Kraft singers, too, but I'm afraid Bertie might run out of cheese and crackers.
Throckmorton, hush.
Oh, yeah.
Beautiful music. I think this is the best part of Christmas Eve.
Very nice, Judge. Wait till we get over to our house. When Marjorie starts opening her presents. Oh, brother, I can hardly wait.
The Great Gildersleeve will return in just a minute. Santa Claus season is pretty expensive, isn't it? Well, if the holiday ahead might put your food budget in the red, here's how to economize now so you'll be prepared for the splurge meals. Use up leftovers tomorrow and Friday and Saturday by dressing them up with the wonderful cheese sauce you can make with Kraft's smooth-melting cheese food Velveeta. You see, you can pour this Velveeta sauce over leftovers, ham or veal or fish, or just over toast for an economical hot main dish you can make in a jiffy. That sauce will help you economize after Christmas, too, when you serve it with the last bits of the Christmas bird. For that tasty sauce, all you do is melt 1/2 pound of Velveeta in the top of your double boiler. Then gradually stir in 1/4 cup of milk and season to taste. That's all there is to it for a sauce that'll give your main dish a grand, rich, yet mild cheddar cheese flavor. And fine nourishment, too, because Velveeta is rich in important food values from milk. So for a wide variety of hot main dishes that are really economical, use good-eating Velveeta, the cheese food that's as digestible as milk itself. When you buy, be sure you get genuine Velveeta. It's the cheese food of top quality, made only by Kraft. Well, the folks have just come home from the Christmas Eve concert, and it's getting close to the big moment the Great Gildersleeve has been waiting for.
Marjorie, you and Catherine come over by the fire. Bronco, why don't you throw another log on?
What? Oh, sure, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Bronco, that's the footstool.
I'm sorry, Mr. Gildersleeve. I don't know what I was thinking about.
He's excited tonight, Unky.
What's everybody so excited about?
It's Christmas Eve, Unc. Let's light the tree and open the packages.
Well, better light the tree, I guess. Where's that plug? Yeah. Get ready, everybody. Here go the lights.
Oh, it's perfectly beautiful, Throckmorton.
Yeah, that's quite a tree.
Isn't it wonderful?
Oh, it's very effective with all those lights bubbling.
Well, I'm sort of a bubbly fellow, too, around Christmas time. Why shouldn't I be? Got a lot of good friends and a wonderful little family.
You certainly have, Throckmorton.
Yes, sir, I've raised 2 fine children, and they mean all the world to me.
We go through this every year, Miss Milford.
Well, I mean it. I appreciate you more and more every year.
We appreciate you, too, Unc. Now let's open the presents.
Yeah, let's open the presents.
My surprise to you comes last, Unky.
Well, I have a surprise for you, too, Marjorie, but wait a minute. We can't open presents till the others get here.
What others?
You mean you're expecting somebody else, Mr. Gildersleeve?
Well, I invited Judge Hooker and the Peavies.
But, Uncle Mort, we thought it was just to be the family and Miss Milford.
Yeah, that's what we thought, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Well, Marjorie, I sort of wanted the judge and the Peavies to see what I have for you.
Yeah, what's wrong with having them over at Christmas? They always bring presents.
Leroy is being very practical about this.
Yeah, Christmas to Leroy is like bank night.
Yeah.
Bronco, let's bring some more chairs into the dining room, huh? Say, where's Bronco? Did he fall in the fireplace?
I think he went in your den, Unky.
Oh?
Mr. Gildersleeve,
Yes, Bronco?
may I see you for a minute?
Certainly. Excuse me, everybody. Take the halls with flowers and holly.
Do you mind if we close the door, Mr. Gildersleeve?
Close the door? Is it that secret?
Well, it's about the surprise Marjorie was telling you about.
Well, don't tell me now, Bronco. I want to wait for it.
I think I should tell you, Mr. Gildersleeve, before the others come.
Huh? What difference does that make?
Well, we planned this for just you and the family. Marjorie and I were going to stand up by the tree hand in hand and give you your surprise.
Cute.
I was going to make the speech.
You? A speech?
Yes, sir. I was going to tell you that Marjorie and I want to be married.
Married? Well, sure, maybe sometime, Bronco.
Not sometime, Mr. Gildersleeve. This is definite. I'm asking you if I may marry Marjorie.
Marry Marjorie? Little Marjorie? So, this is her surprise, eh?
I love her, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Yes.
And Marjorie loves me. That's pretty important.
Yeah, I guess it is.
We've been thinking about it for a long time. I guess it's sort of sudden to you, but... Well, what do you think, Mr. Gildersleeve? We aren't going to do anything hasty, sir. We weren't even planning it until spring. Late spring. June, maybe? That's long enough to wait. Don't you think so, Mr. Gildersleeve?
I've never thought about it at all.
Well, you'll probably get used to the idea of not having Marge around by then. Wouldn't you? I've been saving my money. In fact, Marge and I aren't giving each other much for Christmas. We're looking ahead. I want to be able to take good care of Marjorie, Mr. Gildersleeve. Of course, we wouldn't do anything without your permission. So, what do you think, Mr. Gildersleeve?
Bronco, I think the other guests have arrived by now. You tell them I'll be out in a minute.
Of course, Mr. Gildersleeve. I'll tell them.
Little Marge. Can't believe it. Just can't imagine this house without her. Couldn't bear to go into her little room again, where I used to tuck her in, read her bedtime stories, care for her when she had measles, chickenpox. I've worked and sacrificed to raise Marjorie. Now, when she means the most to me, somebody wants to take her away. That boy has his nerve. Who does he think he is? Who is it?
It's Catherine Throckmorton.
Oh.
Judge Hooker and the Peavies are outside. Don't you think you should join the party?
Well, I have some thinking to do. Catherine?
Yes.
Bronco and Marjorie want to get married.
Oh, I suspected something like that. Isn't it wonderful?
What's so wonderful about it?
Why, Throckmorton, I should think you'd be very proud and happy.
Happy? How would you feel if your Christmas surprise meant losing your daughter?
Well, I suppose I'm thinking more about Marjorie's happiness than Bronco's. How radiant she looks tonight and what it will mean to them. Try to remember, Throckmorton, that a mother wants more than anything else to have her daughter marry a nice young man. Somebody who will be kind and good to her. Bronco will.
My Marjorie.
What are you going to do?
I don't know. Give me a little time, Catherine.
Anybody want more cocoa and popcorn balls?
Oh, no, thank you, Bertie.
Gosh, where's Unc? It's time to open the presents.
Now, Leroy, let's not be impatient.
Unc has a present under the tree for you, Judge.
Yes? Where is Gildy?
Of course, when he comes out, he ought to start handing out to the little kids first.
Well, they say age before beauty, Leroy. Perhaps Peavy should receive his present first. He's the oldest man here.
Well, no, I wouldn't say that.
Marjorie, while we're waiting for the Lord of the Manor, perhaps you'll play the piano for us.
Oh, Judge, I couldn't. I'm too excited tonight.
Oh, here comes Mr. Gildersleeve.
I'm sorry if I kept everybody waiting.
What have you been doing, Gildy? Hibernating in your den?
Come on, Unc. I want to see what Santa Claus brought.
Yes, it is time to pass out the presents, isn't it? Leroy, we'll start with you. Here you are, my boy.
Oh, boy, thanks, Unc.
And Bertie, here's a package with your name on it.
Thank you, Mr. Gildersleeve. Old Santa Claus never forgets Bertie.
Now we come to Marjorie. I said I had a special surprise for her tonight.
Oh, that's nice.
A number of years ago, my mother gave me her engagement ring. I guess she secretly hoped that someday I'd give it to a girl and start a little family. Well, I have a little family. A fine niece and nephew. But I haven't been very lucky on the other score. And so this Christmas, I thought I'd present my mother's ring to Marjorie.
Oh, Unky.
Splendid idea.
But something has happened tonight which forces me to change my plans. Instead of giving the ring to Marjorie, I want to give it to Bronco to give to Marjorie.
Me, Mr. Gildersleeve? You want me to give it to her?
Here, Bronco. Read the card.
To Marjorie, for always, from Bronco.
Bronco is joining our little family.
Oh, Unky, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Gildersleeve, very much. We hadn't planned to have an engagement ring.
I hope you'll be very happy, both of you.
Let me shake your hand, my boy.
So happy for you, Marjorie. Gosh, Unc, is Marjorie leaving us?
Well, let's not talk about that now, huh, my boy? Bertie, isn't it time for your little Christmas song?
Yes, sir, if Miss Marjorie feels like playing the piano.
I never felt more like it in my life.
Fine. This is a little lullaby Bertie always sang to the children since Marjorie was this high.
Lay thou little tiny child, bye-bye, lay thou little tiny child, bye-bye,
Yes, sir. This is the best Christmas ever.
Now, Mr. Harold Perry steps out of his role as the great Gildersleeve
to wish you all a very Merry Christmas. You know, we don't often get a chance to tell you listeners how much your enthusiasm and support mean to the group of people who bring you this program every week. But we mean very sincerely that if hearing the program gives you one half the pleasure that bringing it to you gives to us, we're more than satisfied. We're glad that we have this opportunity to come into your homes and wish you all the joys and blessings of the holiday season. So it's a Merry Christmas to all of you from all of us. Walter Tetley,
Leroy,
Mary Lee Robb,
Marjorie,
Lillian Randolph,
Bertie,
Earl Ross,
Judge Hooker,
Kathy Lewis,
Katie Milford,
Dick Crenna,
Bronco,
and Dick LeGrand.
Mr. Peavy.
And a Merry Christmas, too, from all the people behind the scenes. From Jack Meakin and the orchestra, writers Paul West, John Elliott, and Andy White. From Ray Ferguson and Monty Frazier, our engineer and sound effects artist. And from our producer-director, Fran Van Hartesveld. And, of course, these holiday greetings come to you, too, from our sponsors, the Kraft Foods Company, their representative on this program, announcer Jay Stewart, the Kraft Choral Club, and the entire family of Kraft employees. Merry Christmas, everybody, and good night.
Ladies, Pabstet, the delicious cheddar cheese food, is offering you a knife of 100 uses, the Super Slicer. It tears faster, slices cleaner, removes olives and cherries from bottles in a jiffy. It's the handiest kitchen knife in years. And you can get this knife for only 25 cents and the top label of a round package of delicious Pabstet cheese food or the red arrow from the top of a 2-pound Pabstet loaf. Send your Pabstet label and your quarter tonight to Phoenix Pabstet, Box 5239, Chicago 77, Illinois. Please print your return address.
Portions of tonight's broadcast were transcribed. Break the Bank, radio's biggest money-paying show, is next on NBC. The Kraft Foods Company, makers of Kraft Quality Foods, presents Harold Perry as the Great Gildersleeve. You know, there's something about Pabstet you can't miss. Whether you like this cheese food as a dessert or a sandwich spread, it's that satisfying, mellow flavor of real cheddar cheese. There's no doubt about it. Pabstet is a cheese food with a real cheddar flavor. So ask your dealer for delicious Pabstet. Tomorrow, treat yourself and your family to Pabstet's rich, distinctive flavor at the very first meal. Pabstet, the pasteurized processed cheese food, comes in golden cheddar or pimento. Buy it in a handy-sized round package, or if you prefer, in the economical 2-pound loaf. Well, let's see what's doing with the Great Gildersleeve. Every evening about this time, Summerfield's water commissioner can be seen rounding the corner and heading for home.
Well, I guess Bronco's calling on Marjorie again. There's his car. What a jalopy. Hope he gets a new car before they get married. Won't be any fun tying tin cans to a tin can.
Hi, Unc.
Oh, hello, Leroy.
Hey, don't go in the living room.
What?
Marge and Bronco just shooed me out.
Oh? They're having another spat?
Heck no, they're sitting in there with their heads together, holding hands.
Oh? I wonder what's going on.
Mr. Gildersleeve.
Bertie, don't do that. I didn't hear you.
Mr. Gildersleeve, don't go in the parlor.
Well, I wasn't going to. Let's move away from here, huh? Now, what's the big secret?
Gosh, ever since they got engaged, all they do is whisper. You'd think they both had laryngitis.
Leroy, when you get engaged, you're sicker than you are with laryngitis.
You know what I think, Mr. Gildersleeve?
What, Bertie?
I think they're naming the day.
So soon?
Yeah? Naming what day?
Naming the wedding day, Leroy.
They shooed me out for that? Oh, for corn's sake.
All right, Leroy, all right.
Yes, sir. That's what I think they're doing. They're naming the day.
What makes you think so, Bertie?
Mr. Gildersleeve, when them two sit down with a calendar, they ain't counting the days till Christmas. They're naming the day.
Why don't you go in and find out, Uncle?
No, Leroy. They'll let me know when they've decided. I can wait. Of course, they may have already decided. I could go in and get the evening paper.
Nice waiting, Unc.
Yeah, guess I'll get the paper. Well, hello, children.
Hello, Uncle Mort.
Hello, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Yeah, they're naming the day, all right. Excuse me, I just wanted the evening paper. I'm on my way out.
Oh, wait a minute, Unky. We've got something to tell you.
You do? Now, what could it be?
Well, you tell him, Bronco.
No, you tell him, Marge.
Well, I think you should tell him.
Gosh, somebody tell him!
Leroy. Go ahead, Marjorie. He's right. Somebody tell me.
Tell him, Marge. It was your decision.
No, you tell him, Bronco. You're the head of the family.
Yeah. Gosh. Well, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Yes, Bronco?
Mr. Gildersleeve, we've named the day.
No.
May 1st, Donkey.
May 1st. Well.
Yes, sir. Marjorie Forrester will be joined in marriage to Bronco Thompson on the first day of May in the year 1950. A.D.
A.D. Oh, yeah. Well, congratulations.
Thanks, Donkey.
Well, thank you, Marjorie.
Thanks, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Let's have a wait till some other day, Marge.
What's wrong with May 1st?
What's wrong with it? That's May Day. It's already a holiday. Why don't you have to wait on a day a little kid can get out of school?
Leroy, we don't set the date to accommodate the ring bearer.
Ring never.
That's you, my boy. Things are going to be popping around here between now and May 1st. I'll have a lot to do. Wedding invitations, reception plans.
Now, Uncle Mort, don't you take over.
Oh, I wouldn't think of doing a thing like that.
Oh, I'm sure you wouldn't, Mr. Gildersleeve, because the wedding plans are pretty much up to the bride.
You bet it's up to Marjorie. I can see you now, my dear, coming down the stairs.
Down these stairs?
Well, naturally, we'll have the wedding here. You'll be dressed in a new tailored suit.
Tailored suit?
Green, maybe. Your old uncle will be waiting on the bottom step, ready to take you on his arm and deliver you to the blushing bridegroom.
Now, just a minute, Uncle Mort.
That's you, Bronco.
But don't
Here comes the bride.
What a character.
Oh, that's too bad. Bronco had to go home. We could have rehearsed the ceremony right here tonight.
Uncle Mort, I haven't even started planning yet.
Well, here's the way I see it, Marjorie. We'll have the fireplace banked with flowers, and the minister will stand right in front of it. Bertie, you stand over there.
Me?
You're the minister.
Yes, sir. Uncle Mort, we haven't decided where the wedding's going to be, and after all...
Well, that's up to you, my dear. But if it's a nice day, we'll have the reception right out on the front lawn. Wouldn't that be nice, Bertie?
Yes, sir. But like you say, that's up to Miss Marjorie.
Yes, indeed. It's entirely up to Marjorie. But I thought we'd have the friends of the bride on this side of the room and the friends of the groom...
Excuse me, Uncle Mort. I think I'm going to have a headache.
Oh? Sorry, Marjorie. You all upstairs and lie down. I'll take care of everything.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Now, where's my pencil? Better make a few notes here. By George, there's nothing like a wedding.
I'll get it out. I'm going over to Piggy's anyway.
All right, my boy. Now, let's see.
All right, Judge Hooker.
Good evening, Leroy. Is the Lord of the Manor in?
Here, he's fixing Marge's wedding.
Oh?
Come on in, Horace.
Thank you.
See you later, Unc. So long, Judge.
Well, has the date been set, Gildy?
Yeah, we've decided on May 1st, Judge.
May 1st. Isn't that thrilling? Oh, promise me that someday you and I...
Judge, you should be on the stage.
You think so, Gildy?
Yeah, they've had talking dogs, but never an old goat to sing. Gildy? Yeah, sit down, Horace, sit down. I'll tell you what I'm planning for Marjorie's wedding.
Oh, are you making the plans?
Well, it's already given Marjorie a headache, so I had to take over.
Oh, I see.
Now, what do you think of a string trio in the hall, Judge? I could get Irving Hotstetter and two of his hep cats. I imagine they can play wedding music.
I suppose so, if the hep cats can slow down that much. I didn't know that Marjorie had decided to have a home wedding.
Well, of course, it's up to her, Judge. But we could have a beautiful wedding here, right in the home she loves so well.
How do Bronco's parents feel about having it here?
What difference does that make? As everybody knows, this thing is entirely up to Marjorie.
Does everybody know that, Gildy?
Well, if they don't, I'll tell them. Of course, Mrs. Thompson is one of those obnoxious people who'd like to take charge.
Oh?
Yeah, but she won't get an oar in here. And Mr. Thompson's so absent-minded he won't know whose wedding he's attending anyway.
Be that as it may, Gildy, weddings usually run more smoothly if the two families get together for a powwow.
We're not Indians, Judge. There'll be no powwow. I told Bronco to tell his parents the wedding will be here. And that's the last we'll hear of that.
Will you repeat that, Bronco?
Well, Mother, that's what Mr. Gildersleeve said. He said Marjorie and I would be married in his parlor.
Oh, he did, eh?
Edward! Oh, Edward!
Martha, did you hear someone calling me?
I called you.
Oh, it was you, Martha.
Yes.
Well, I just wanted to know.
Edward! Come back here.
You'd better come back, Father. This is important.
Oh, it is? Well.
Edward, it's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard.
It is?
What? Mr. Gildersleeve wants the marriage to be held in his parlor.
Well, I don't see anything wrong with that.
You don't?
Well, if Gildersleeve wants to get married, why shouldn't he get married in his own parlor?
Edward, I'm talking about Bronco's wedding.
Oh, is Bronco getting married? Oh, yes, of course. Gildersleeve's niece, Marjorie.
Now, that's right, Father.
Yes, a lovely girl, Marjorie.
Edward, we're driving over to Summerfield tomorrow.
Oh, yes, we must attend the wedding.
Oh, Father, the wedding is May 1st.
May 1st? Well, no use going tomorrow.
Oh, good heavens. There's every reason for going tomorrow. I have some ideas about the wedding plans myself.
But, Mother, isn't it up to the bride?
Yes, Martha. Isn't it up to Marjorie and her, what does she call him, Uncle Snort?
Uncle Mort, Father.
Oh, yes. Well, that's who it's up to, isn't it, Martha?
Leaving things up to Mr. Gildersleeve is like, well, just leaving them. We're motoring to Summerfield tomorrow.
Well, Marjorie, where are you and Bronco off to this morning?
We're going skating on the mill pond, Unky.
It froze again last night, Mr. Gildersleeve.
I did, eh? Well, skate while you can, because we're going to be awfully busy between now and May 1st.
Mr. Gildersleeve, speaking of May 1st, my mother casually mentioned that she and Father might drop in to see you today.
Oh, are they going to be in town?
I think so. In fact, they weren't very far behind me. Yeah, that could be them.
Yes. Why don't they stay at home and let me handle the wedding?
Good morning, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Well, hello, Mrs. Thompson. Glad you came over. And Mr. Thompson, well, come in.
Hello, Gildersleeve. Nice of you to invite us over.
Invite you? Oh, yes.
Marjorie, my dear child, how are you?
Oh, fine, thank you. Hello, Mr. Thompson.
Oh, good morning, Marjorie.
This was certainly an unexpected surprise, but delightful. Sit down, everybody.
Mr. Gildersleeve, Edward and I were in town, and we simply couldn't pass up an opportunity to drop in and say hello.
Well, hello. I mean, I'm glad you did, Mrs. Thompson. Marjorie and Bronco were just about to go skating.
Oh, wonderful pastime, skating. If you have ice, of course.
If you have
Well, you children run along. Since the date has been set for May 1st, there are a great many things Edward and I want to discuss with Mr. Gildersleeve.
Mother, if you're going to talk about the wedding plans, I think Marjorie and I should stick around. We're involved, too.
You're not involved, son, until after the wedding.
Edward.
Oh, brother. Well, Marjorie, you and Bronco can use your own judgment about staying, but there's no reason why Mrs. Thompson and I can't get together on things.
No, indeed. I have the highest regard for Mr. Gildersleeve's opinion.
You do?
And I'm sure he has the utmost respect for mine.
Oh, yes, indeed. Now, I thought we'd have the fireplace here banked with flowers.
Uncle Mort, you're assuming, Mr. Gildersleeve, that the ceremony will take place here.
Well, do you have any objections to a home wedding?
Oh, it seems to Marjorie and me
Quiet, Bronco. I think a home wedding can be very impressive, Mr. Gildersleeve. I rather like the idea of the ceremony and the reception held in one convenient location.
Well, good. We're in agreement there.
But the place should be our house.
Well, we're not in agreement there. Shouldn't this be entirely up to Marjorie?
Well, obviously, it's been taken entirely out of our hands, Bronco.
Oh, no, my dear. I've said all along it's entirely up to you. That's why it should be in your own home.
But, Mr. Gildersleeve, you've seen our large living room.
Barn.
We're much better equipped to handle a large gathering.
Well, who said anything about a large gathering?
Bronco, please. There are many reasons why we should have the wedding in Broadmoor, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Now, Martha, why don't we hear some reasons from Marjorie's Uncle Snort?
Yeah. Uncle who?
Uncle Mort, Father.
Oh, yes, of course. Well, why don't we listen to his reason?
Edward, we've been listening to Mr. Gildersleeve for quite a while, and I have as big a voice as he has.
Bigger.
I beg your pardon.
Oh, come on, Bronco, let's get out of here.
Good idea.
Now, where are you going, children? To the mill pond?
Oh, at least that far.
Well, now that the children have gone, we can arrive at a decision.
Oh, yes. What do you think we should do, Mr. Thompson?
Well, if there's ice, why don't we all go skating?
Oh.
The Great Gildersleeve will return in just a minute. Some salads take lots of fixing. But here's one you can fix in a jiffy, one that rings the bell on every occasion. Pear Salad Pabst-ett. Just press 2 pear halves together with a generous filling of rich, delicious Pabst-ett pasteurized processed cheese food in between. Serve upright on crisp lettuce with mayonnaise or salad dressing. Add a sprig or 2 of watercress just for looks. You'll draw oohs and ahs every time you serve it. And, of course, that's only one of an almost inexhaustible list of appetizing dishes you can make and make better with Pabst-ett, the cheese food with the real cheddar flavor. Pabst-ett spreads readily at room temperatures for sandwich and other fillings. Melts into a rich, creamy sauce for rarebit, soufflés, omelets, casserole dishes. Cuts in firm wedges when chilled to go with crackers, salads, or apple pie. And any way you serve it, it's delicious. Tomorrow, get Pabst-ett, the mild cheese food with the real cheddar flavor. Get either cheddar or pimento in the round, handy-sized package. Or save money by asking for the economical 2-pound loaf at your grocer's. Well, Marjorie and Bronco have decided to be married May 1st. But there's been quite a to-do about where the wedding will be. The great Gildersleeve wants it at his house. Bronco's parents want it at their house. So far, Marjorie hasn't had a chance to say where she wants it. In fact, she and Bronco left the conference in a huff.
Well, Bronco's parents aren't going to tell me how to run this wedding, Bertie.
No, sir. Poor Miss Marjorie.
What's this, Bertie?
Driven out of her own house.
Now, Bertie, we were just trying to help.
Yes, sir. Poor Miss Marjorie. Driven out of her own house by people trying to help.
All right, Bertie. She wasn't driven out. She just went skating.
Yes, sir. I hope that's where she went.
What?
If they're going to get all that help between now and May 1st, it wouldn't surprise me if they eloped.
Eloped? Bertie, that's ridiculous. Say, it's almost dark. Wonder why they aren't home yet.
Yes, I imagine you do.
But that's Marjorie now. No, that has to be Leroy's, Pete.
Hiya.
Leroy, have you seen anything of Bronco and Marjorie?
No, haven't seen him since Marge sneaked back and got her suitcase.
Suitcase? Zeke.
Oh, Miss Marjorie.
Now, Bertie. Leroy, when did Marjorie come back to the house?
Why, you and Mrs. Thompson were battling.
We weren't battling, my boy.
Are you kidding? I think you and Mrs. Thompson were getting married.
What a horrible idea.
Oh, Miss Marjorie.
All right, Bertie. I wonder why Marjorie would take a suitcase skating.
She always does.
She does?
Sure, for her skates and stuff.
Oh, of course. You see, Bertie, she just took her skates and warm clothes for after skating. That's all that's in the bag.
I sure hope that's all that's in the bag.
Why, certainly. She'll be back in time for dinner. Don't you think so, Bertie? Well, don't you, Bertie? Bertie, say something.
Oh, Miss Marjorie.
Well, they weren't skating on the mill pond, but I'm positive they haven't eloped. Bertie's imagination's just running away with her. I'm not going to let mine run away with me. I'm not worried. I think I'll go into Peavy's and get some black coffee. Hello, Peavy.
Hello, Mr. Gildersleeve. What can your friendly neighborhood druggist do for you?
Well, you might give me a cup of black coffee.
Yeah, well. Cream?
I said black, Peavy.
Yeah, well. Sugar?
Just plain black, Peavy.
Well, sugar doesn't change the color.
Yeah. I know that.
And after coffee has been sitting around all afternoon like this has, sometimes cream doesn't even change its color.
Well, on second thought, Peavy, you better give me some cream and sugar.
That's what I say. I always believe in giving the customer his money's worth. That'll be 5 cents.
No, friend. Here, friendly neighborhood druggist.
Thank you, Mr. Gildersleeve. Well, I guess everybody's pretty happy at your house.
Why, Peavy?
Well, Judge Hooker tells me that Marjorie's been married on May 1st.
Well, I hope she waits that long.
How's that?
You know how impetuous young people can be.
Well, I know how impetuous I was. I married Mrs. Peavy.
You didn't elope, did you, Peavy?
Well, I don't mind saying we entertained the idea. But Mrs. Peavy was a little heavy to carry down the ladder.
I wonder if Marjorie is thinking about eloping.
Well, she didn't mention it when she stopped in here with Bronco, a suitcase, and another young couple.
Peavy, why didn't you tell me Marjorie was in here?
You didn't ask me.
What? Talk up, man. Who was with her?
Well, like I say, there was Bronco and another couple.
Who was the other couple?
Well, I didn't know the young man, but the girl was Francie Tyler.
Oh, Francie Tyler, Marjorie's best friend. She was going to be the maid of honor. By now, she's probably a witness.
My. Congratulations, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Don't congratulate me, Peavy. I don't believe it.
Yeah, that's what the fellow said when he saw his first elephant. Tail on both ends.
Yeah. Peavy, little Marjorie wouldn't do this to me. She's a sensible girl.
Well, yes, she is.
And I've been a good uncle to her.
Yes.
They wouldn't run away and get married just because Mrs. Thompson and I had a little trouble getting together on their wedding plans.
Well, no, I wouldn't say that.
Neither would I. Oh? Well, thank you very much, Mrs. Tyler. I just thought Marjorie and Francie might be over there. Oh, no, I'm not going to worry. Not me. Goodbye, Mrs. Tyler. Wouldn't worry for a minute if Francie hadn't gone skating without her skates.
Locate Miss Marjorie anywhere in the Gildersleeve?
Oh, Bertie and I am beginning to fear the worst.
So what if she has eloped, Dunk? Look at all the money you saved.
That's hardly a consideration at a time like this, young man.
Well, it didn't have to happen this way.
Bertie, wonder where they drove to get married.
They couldn't get very far in that old car of Bronco's.
Well, that wouldn't stop them once they got started. And you know what got them started, Miss Gildersleeve?
Don't you get started now, Bertie. I guess I'd better call the Thompson and tell them what's happened. Still, anything as important as this, I should drive over to Broadmoor and tell Mrs. Thompson in person.
Gosh, Unc, you're a glutton for punishment.
Yeah, well, I guess I've asked for it.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Keep a light in Marjorie's little window, Leroy. It's going to be hard to break this to the Thompsons. Say, I wonder if Marjorie and Bronco have been here all the time, playing billiards or something. They've got a billiard table.
Yes?
Oh, hello, Mrs. Billiard.
It's you, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Yes, I wondered if Bronco and Marjorie...
Somebody at the door, Martha?
No, just Mr. Gildersleeve.
Gildersleeve?
Yes. Hello, Mr. Thompson.
Oh, Marjorie's uncle,
Mort.
Oh, yes. Come in.
Yes, do.
Oh, thank you. What a family. For 2 cents, I'd have the marriage annulled.
What brings you to Broadmoor, Mr. Gildersleeve?
Well, Mrs. Thompson, I was wondering, are Bronco and Marjorie here?
No. I thought they went skating. After you so stubbornly objected to having the wedding at Broadmoor.
No, Mrs. Thompson.
Of course they went skating. Bronco told me they'd been skating when I saw him this afternoon.
You saw Bronco this afternoon? Well, I guess there's nothing to worry about then.
I saw Bronco in the bank. He was drawing out his savings.
His savings?
Yes, $200.
$200?
Thrifty boy.
Did he say what it was for?
No, that puzzles me. He said he was going to surprise us.
Oh, that does it. Mrs. Thompson, I have a painful announcement to make.
Oh?
I have every reason to believe that Marjorie and Bronco are married.
What?
Oh, nonsense. It can't be May 1st already.
No, Mr. Thompson. They've eloped.
Eloped?
Yes. I'm afraid they wanted to plan their wedding themselves.
Oh, Mr. Gildersleeve, we should never have been the
did.
Oh, Mother Thompson, it's all my fault. I should never have insisted they be married in Summerfield. The wedding should have been held right here.
Oh, no, Mr. Gildersleeve, it's my fault.
Oh.
I should have left it up to you and Marjorie.
Here, Martha. My handkerchief.
No, Edward.
Gildersleeve?
Thank you, I have one.
This is a lesson to me. I'll never interfere with the children's plans again.
Neither will I. Oh, my goodness.
Mother? Oh, Bronco.
Huh? Bronco, you're home.
Sure. Oh, hello, Mr. Gildersleeve. Come on outside, everybody. I want you to see my surprise.
It's no surprise to us.
Boy, is she a beauty.
Yeah.
You should see the red paint job.
Red paint job, Marjorie?
Oh, good heavens.
No, my new car.
New car?
Isn't it beautiful?
Well.
This is for our honeymoon, May 1st.
May 1st? Did you hear that, Mrs. Thompson?
Yes, and what a relief. Now we can go ahead with plans for the wedding here at Broadmoor.
Yeah. At Broadmoor? Now, just a minute.
Now, Mr. Gildersleeve, a moment ago you insisted this was where they should be married.
What a sneaky way to get the wedding on my car.
More about the wedding plans in just a minute. When you fix yourself a midnight snack of Pabstet and crackers, maybe you sometimes wonder why Pabstet tastes so much better than many other cheese foods. Well, the answer is simple. It's that rich, satisfying cheddar flavor. For Pabstet, the pasteurized processed cheese food is made from aged cheddar of real distinction. That's why Pabstet is always mellow and delicious. You can get Pabstet either golden or pimento in the round, handy-sized package. But the money-saving way to buy this many-purpose food is in the economical 2-pound loaf. In either package, you get that real cheddar flavor. Put Pabstet on your shopping list tonight. Get some tomorrow.
But Mrs. Thompson...
Now, Mr. Gildersleeve...
Now, wait a minute, everybody. Marge and I have decided we're not having the wedding at Mr. Gildersleeve's house.
There, you see?
What? And we're not having it at our house either.
What?
Bronco and I have decided we're going to have a church wedding.
Church wedding? Well, good.
Well, a church wedding solves the problem perfectly. Don't you think, Edward?
What problem? Oh, yes, of course, indeed.
Well, thank goodness it's settled.
Sure.
We can have the wedding at the church here in Broadmoor.
Broadmoor? This woman never gives up.
The Great Gildersleeve is played by Harold Perry. The show was written by Paul West, John Elliott, and Andy White, with music by Jack Meakin. Included in the cast are Walter Tetley, Mary Lee Robb, Lillian Randolph, Earl Ross, and Dick LeGrand. This is Jay Stewart saying goodnight for the Kraft Foods Company, makers of the famous line of Kraft quality food products.
Yeah, good night, Jay.
Good night, Harold. Be sure to listen in next Wednesday and every Wednesday for the further adventures of the Great Gildersleeve.
You bet.
Here's a taste test that counts. Try any meat without mustard. Then add a golden dab of Kraft prepared mustard to your next bite. Taste the difference. There are two kinds of Kraft mustard, you know. Salad mustard, delicately spiced for those who like their mustard mild, or Kraft prepared mustard with snappy horseradish added. Have both on hand. For remember this, when you add a little mustard, you add a lot of tang. Get Kraft prepared mustard.
Break the Bank, radio's biggest money-paying show, is next on NBC.
the Kraft Foods Company, makers of Kraft Quality Foods, presents Harold Perry as the Great Gildersleeve. The Great Gildersleeve is brought to you tonight by Parquet Margarine, that marvelous margarine made by Kraft. Parquet is the margarine millions prefer because it tastes so good. And it tastes so good because it's always fresh. In fact, Parquet margarine is so good in every way and for every purpose that Kraft can afford to make this offer. Double your money back if you don't say Parquet is the best margarine you ever tasted. That's Parkay. Parquet margarine made by Kraft. Ask for it at your grocer's tomorrow. Well, it's been a long, hard day at the water department. The Great Gildersleeve didn't even get home for dinner. But now, back at long last, the water commissioner lowers himself into his easy chair and sinks to the bottom like a rock in his reservoir.
Tired, Unky?
Worn out, Marjorie. The first of the month sort of slipped up on Bessie and me.
Oh?
Yeah, came right after February 28th. Didn't expect it for 2 more days. Excuse me.
That's all right. Bronco's coming by for me in a few minutes.
No, he is.
Uh-huh. Are you too tired to drive over to Broadmoor with us and see Mother and Father Thompson?
Marjorie, I've seen Mother and Father Thompson. I remember them well.
Now, Unky, you really should cultivate the Thompsons.
That's barren ground. He never answers your questions, and she never gives you a chance to ask one. Marjorie, just because you and Bronco are engaged is no reason I have to be married to the Thompsons.
All right, Unky. I'll tell him you send your love.
Yeah, do that.
Miss Gildersleeve.
Yes, Bertie.
A party phoned before you came home and wants you to call back.
Oh, yes, probably Judge Hooker. He wanted me to play checkers. But wild horses couldn't get me away from this house tonight. I'm not going to be dragged out by an old goat.
He wasn't the party, Miss Gildersleeve.
Well, whoever it was, I'm not leaving the house.
Unky just passed up an invitation to visit the Thompsons.
Yeah, hated to do it.
Yes, sir. You don't want to call this party back then?
I'm too tired to go to the telephone, Bertie. Who was it?
Miss Milford.
Miss Milford?
Unky, where are you going?
Well, I said I wouldn't go to the telephone, and I won't. Where's my hat?
That man.
Why, Throckmorton.
Hello, Catherine.
I phoned you this evening.
Yeah, Bertie said you wanted me to ring you back, so I'm doing it.
Throckmorton.
May I come in, or do you want to talk long distance?
Oh, come on in. I won't keep you a minute.
You won't?
Bertie said you didn't get home for dinner. You must be awfully tired.
Me? No.
Well, I'm glad, because I want to talk to you about tomorrow night.
Great. What are we going to do tomorrow night?
I've invited Marjorie over, remember?
Oh, yes. You're going to help Marjorie with some sewing.
Well...
Why don't you and I sew for a couple of hours tonight,
What?
Look, the button off my cuff.
Throckmorton, that won't take 2 hours.
It could. Yeah. Be good practice for tomorrow night.
Marjorie and I aren't going to sew tomorrow night, Throckmorton.
Oh?
I told her that because I want to surprise her. I'm giving her a bridal shower.
You are?
Mm-hmm.
Well, won't Marjorie be happy? You're awfully sweet to do that, Catherine. I could almost kiss you.
Oh, Throckmorton.
Shucks, missed again.
I wanted to know if you mind Bertie helping us out tomorrow night.
Bertie, of course I don't mind. Anything at all, Catherine.
That's wonderful. And Throckmorton,
Huh?
you know, giving this shower makes me realize how much I need a man around the house.
You do?
I mean, just to help with the preparations tomorrow night, of course.
Oh, yes.
You really won't mind helping out?
Be delighted to help. I think I should be here anyway. After all, what's a shower without the water commissioner?
Floyd. Well, if it ain't the commish. Hop right up in the chair, commish.
Thank you.
What'll it be, haircut?
You can start with a haircut, my man, then give me the works.
Yeah?
If you had a manicurist, I'd even go for a manicure.
Stepping out among them tonight, commish?
Well...
Gonna do a little billing and cooing with your turtle dove?
Floyd.
I'll bet you're no turtle among the doves.
Oh.
All jokes alongside, commish. How's the trained nurse?
You mean Miss Milford, of course. She's fine. Thank you for inquiring.
That's okay.
Don't trim it too short, Floyd. Leave the wave on the top.
Don't worry. Hey, you got another gray hair here.
I have?
Yep. Pretty soon your wave's going to have white caps.
Very funny, white caps. Stick to your hair cutting, Floyd.
Okay. Little Floydy Munson ain't one of them Gabby barbers.
Good.
Where you going tonight, Commissioner?
If you must know, I'm going over to Miss Milford's, Floyd. She's giving a shower for Marjorie.
Oh? What's she going to have you doing? Tipping the teapot for the in-laws?
No, Floyd. That's what I like about this party. The Thompsons aren't going to be there. It's just for Marjorie's girlfriends.
You don't like rubbing elbows with the in-laws, huh, Commissioner?
Well, Mrs. Thompson has pretty sharp elbows. Looks down her nose at everybody. She thinks she's the Queen of Sheba.
Yeah? They tell me the old man is something out of this world.
That's where his mind seems to be. He never knows what's going on.
Oh, found a faded hair. That's two of them.
Yeah. Every time I think of those Thompsons, another one turns gray. I'm ready for Marjorie's surprise shower tonight. Yeah, and she'll like these candlesticks. Most people just bring something for the bride. But I got something for the groom, too. A candlestick apiece. His and hers. If I could just sneak in the house without Marjorie seeing me.
Hi, Unky.
Oh, hello, Marjorie.
What's in the box?
Box? And what box?
The one you just hid behind your back.
Oh? Back isn't as broad as it used to be. It's all slipped around to the front.
Come on, Unky. What's in the box?
Cigars, my dear.
Cigars 2 feet long?
Well, I've been buying longer cigars, so I won't smoke them so short.
Oh?
Better get in the kitchen and hide these. See you in a little while, my dear. Ta-ta.
Ta-ta.
Yeah, she doesn't suspect a thing.
Those April showers may come my way.
Bertie.
Those April showers.
Bertie.
Yes, sir?
Marjorie will hear you. Don't mention showers.
Mr. Gildersleeve, that's just a red herring.
Red herring?
To throw off the trash.
What?
Miss Marjorie knows she's going to get a shower sometime. And if I sing April showers, she'll think it's going to be next month.
Very logical, Bertie. Bertie, where can I hide this box? It's cigars for some candlesticks for Marjorie.
Oh, a shower present. That's nice. Let's just put it here in the pantry.
Yeah, I'd like to give her something a little nicer, but I'm saving up for the wedding present. Can't let those Thompsons outdo me, Bertie.
No, sir. If y'all keep feuding this way, it's going to be like the Hatfields and the McCoys.
Bertie, it'll never come to that. As long as they stay on their side of the mountain. What's that? Oh, Catherine at the back door.
Hello, Throckmorton.
Catherine, come on in.
I knew Marjorie was home, so I came to the back door.
Glad you did.
Hello, Bertie. How's the cake?
Just fine, Miss Milford. Just take a look in the oven.
Oh, that's beautiful, Bertie.
My favorite cake. Marble. Excuse the expression, Bertie. Can hardly wait to get to that shower.
Throckmorton, you aren't planning to stay for the shower.
Why not?
Well, I just wanted you to come over early and help with the preparations, moving chairs and putting up tables.
But
you wouldn't want to stay with a house full of girls.
I wouldn't?
Of course, you could talk to Mrs. Thompson.
Mrs. Thompson? Is she going to be there?
Do you know, Throckmorton, I nearly forgot her. Wouldn't that have been terrible?
Tragic. Well, Catherine, you've convinced me that shower is no place for me.
No, of course not. You men can take care of yourselves.
Yeah, men?
Yes. Yes, I'm counting on you to entertain Mr. Thompson.
Oh, nobody can entertain Mr. Thompson.
Now, Throckmorton, it'll only be for about 4 hours.
4 hours with a gasping mackerel. Floyd's right. I can feel the white caps whipping up already.
The great Gildersleeve will return in just a minute. It's the margarine that tastes so good because it's fresh, really fresh, always fresh. It's Parquet margarine made by Kraft. Yes, when you buy a margarine, there's one thing you want to be sure of. It must be fresh. And that's one thing you can be sure of when you buy Parquet margarine made by Kraft. For Kraft's nationwide freshness control guarantees that whenever or wherever you buy Parquet, you can always be sure of that fresh, delicious Parquet flavor. Parquet margarine is blended from fresh, top-grade American farm products. It's rushed fresh by truck to your grocer. Each Parquet package is flavor-dated and stocks are regularly inspected. Any Parquet not sold before it passes its freshness peak is returned to Kraft. So remember, Parquet margarine is the margarine that tastes so good. And it tastes so good because it's fresh, really fresh, always fresh. That's Parkay, Parquet margarine made by Kraft. Double your money back if you don't say it's the best margarine you ever tasted. Well, let's get back to the great Gildersleeve. He was all set to attend Marjorie's bridal shower when he found out he had to entertain Marjorie's prospective father-in-law. And he doesn't like the prospect.
A whole evening with an absent-minded book lover. What a miserable night this is going to be. Say, misery loves company. Why don't I get some company? Hello, Peavy.
Hello, Mr. Gildersleeve. What can I do for you?
Well, I was just thinking about something, Peavy.
That so? You look like the cat that ate the canary.
Well, you look like the canary.
What's that?
Peavy, you've heard me talk about Marjorie's future father-in-law, haven't you?
Well, yes.
A wonderful fellow, Mr. Thompson, eh?
My.
We're spending the evening together, Peavy, and I'd like to have you join us.
Why?
Well, he's a brainy fellow, Peavy, and I'd like him to meet some of my more intelligent friends.
Have you tried the judge?
No, I haven't, Peavy. Judge Hooker can't carry on as sparkling as conversation as you can. Besides, he's out of town.
Mr. Gildersleeve, I believe you said this Mr. Thompson collected first editions.
That's right, Peavy.
Expert on modern art.
You bet. He can tell you anything you want to know about it.
There must be something I have to do tonight.
Peavy, don't you try to think of an excuse.
Oh, I know. But come to think of it, Mr. Gildersleeve, I do have an obligation this evening.
Oh?
Mrs. Peavy wanted me at home to play off a rubber of flinch.
Flinch?
We've been playing for 20 years, and the games are tied.
Oh, brother. Well, after playing for 20 years, I know you wouldn't want to give up an evening of flinch.
Well, now, I wouldn't say that. You fellas care to drop by here around 9 o'clock?
See you at 9, Peavy. Eight o'clock. Where are those Thompsons? Mr. Thompson so absent-minded. Say, what if he drove in the wrong direction? Nah, Mrs. Thompson is with him. She'll steer him in. Yeah, there they are. Better go out and greet them. Oop, he's walking across the street. Oh, now she's got him right by the coattail. Hello, over here. What a guy.
He can't even remember my name. If he calls me Uncle Snort once more...
Good evening, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Oh, hello, Mrs. Thompson and Mr. Thompson.
Good evening, Gildersleeve. Martha, you remember Marjorie's Uncle Snort.
I spoke to him, Edward, and he's Marjorie's Uncle Mort.
Oh, yes, of course. Mrs. Thompson, everybody's over at Miss Milford's, and I'll be happy to drop you. By the shower, I mean.
Thank you, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Well, shall we go?
Go where?
You just stay close to me, Mr. Thompson.
Shall we take our car?
Well, I suspect we'd better take my Studebaker. Mr. Thompson and I will need it this evening.
Oh? What are you boys going to do this evening?
Well, Mr. Thompson, how would you like...
Now, there's a very interesting lecture with slides at the Civic Auditorium.
Oh?
Yes. Casting light on darkest Africa.
Well, that does sound interesting.
It's out at 10:30. I took the trouble to look it up in your Summerfield paper. Of course, you boys go where you want to go.
We'd better go to the lecture, Gildersleeve.
Guess so. Care to sit in front, Mrs. Thompson?
No, thank you. If I'm not driving, I like to sit in the back seat.
I bet she can drive from either seat. Well, if everybody's set, we'll back out.
We're backing out, Martha.
Flooded, Mr. Gildersleeve?
No, Mrs. Thompson.
You're backing onto your lawn, Mr. Gildersleeve.
I'm watching.
Careful of the tree on the other side. Watch out for the curb. Here comes the car.
Talking radar.
Mr. Gildersleeve, are you sure you know where Miss Milford lives?
Oh, yes, been there several times.
Careful of the corner, Mr. Gildersleeve. There's a traffic light.
I know. I had it put there.
Turn green. Keep going.
Please, Mrs. Thompson, I know how to drive. Zeke.
Oh, good heavens.
That woman would make any man strip his gears. The car's stopped now. You can get out, Mr. Thompson.
Out? Oh, yes.
Well, I got rid of Mrs. Thompson, but I still have him. This evening certainly went sour.
What was that, Gildersleeve?
I said, I hope your wife has a fine time at the shower.
She will. Who's the bridal shower for, Gildersleeve?
Why, it's for Marjorie.
Oh, I knew it couldn't be for Martha.
No. Not this one. Well, we'll stop in here. Hello, Peavy.
Hello, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Peavy, want you to meet Marjorie's future father-in-law, Mr. Thompson.
Good evening, Mr. Peavy.
I'm happy to meet you, Mr. Thompson. Mr. Gildersleeve told me a lot about you.
He has? What did he say?
Shall I tell him, Mr. Gildersleeve?
Well, it might really embarrass Mr. Thompson, Peavy. I've been bragging on him quite a bit. Haven't I, Peavy?
Well, now,
Mr. Thompson, Peavy's going to spend the evening with us.
Oh, who's Peavy?
This is Peavy.
Oh, to be sure.
I'll be ready as soon as I count the cash.
That's fine, Peavy.
By the way, where are we going?
Well, it's been suggested that we go to a lecture.
Lecture?
Yeah, at the auditorium, Peavy. Casting light on darkest Africa.
If you gentlemen will excuse me, I think I'll go home and play flinch with Mrs. Peavy.
But, Peavy, we're counting on you.
Gildersleeve, you two go if you want to. Don't count on me.
What?
I don't have to go to a lecture. I married one.
Well, Thompson, you surprised me.
Oh, it's Floyd.
Hi, fellas.
Hello, Floyd.
You closing up, Peavy? I thought I'd walk home with you.
Well, I'm not going home right now.
Floyd, I'd like to have you meet Mr. Thompson. Floyd Munson, Mr. Thompson.
How do you do, Mr. Munson?
Hi. Thompson, huh? You got the same name as that in-law the commissioner's been battling with.
A great joker, Mr. Thompson. Barber, you know.
Barber? Thought his name was Munson.
Oh.
The barber's name is Munson.
Floyd, this is Marjorie's future father-in-law.
Oh. Gee, I'm sorry, Commish. I could cut my tongue out.
I could help you.
I'm ready. We'll lock up the store. Shall we go?
Where are we going?
Floyd, we three have an evening planned.
Oh, what do we have planned, Mr. Gildersleeve?
Well, since you don't care for the lecture, we might go to the library.
How are you going to have any fun at the library?
Floyd, Mr. Thompson is a collector of first editions.
Newspapers?
No. Floyd, he loves books. He travels all over looking for them.
Oh, hey, speaking of traveling, a salesman was in the shop today. He had a great story about two guys...
No, Floyd.
I'd like to hear that. Say, Gildersleeve, why don't we take him along? What? Mr. Munson appears to be quite lively. Say, are there any clubs in town, fellows?
Clubs? Oh, you mean men's clubs, where you sit in an evening chair, an easy chair, and look out the window?
No, night clubs.
I better go home to Mrs. Peavy.
Wait a minute, Peavy. We haven't any nightclubs, Mr. Thompson.
Well, where can we find some noise and activity?
Noise? How about the bowling alley?
Well, what do you know?
Well, nice going, Mr. Thompson.
Set him up in the other alley.
Your turn, Peavy.
Well, I'll wait till I find a ball that fits my thumb. That last one carried me halfway down the alley.
Oh, Peavy, you're a caution.
Having fun, Mr. Thompson?
Oh, yes, indeed. Cigarette, Gildersleeve?
Cigarette? Mr. Thompson, I didn't know you smoked.
Neither does Mrs. Thompson.
He's painting the town tonight.
Well, I knocked over 18 out of 20 ducks. What do we do now?
I don't know. You've had us through the penny arcade 3 times.
Hey, Commish, I thought you said this guy Thompson was a dull tool. He's running us ragged.
Yeah, I'm Bush, Floyd. And Mr. Thompson, it's 11 o'clock. Perhaps we should all go home.
Home? Nonsense, Gildersleeve. The night is young, and so are we.
Well, I'm saying good night. I feel pretty old after 11 o'clock.
Good night, Peavy. Yeah.
Wish I'd gone home with Peavy. What time is it, Commish?
Floyd, it's 1:15, according to that clock over the pinball machine.
Hey, Gildersleeve! I hit the triple whammy. Look at it light up!
He did. If he thinks that's a triple whammy, wait till his wife looks him in the eye.
This guy never runs down, does he, Commish? He must take pills.
We have to get him home, Floyd. Mr. Thompson, don't you think we should be going home?
Home? I still have 20 nickels left. Have another Coke, fellows.
Oh, my goodness.
The evening's still a pup.
Maybe a pup, but I know who's going to be in the doghouse.
Great evening, Gildersleeve.
Yeah, great.
I was surprised at Munson having to go home at 2 o'clock.
Well, you know how it is with the barber, Mr. Thompson, on his feet all day. I'm afraid we should have all gone home earlier.
Oh, are we going home?
Yes.
What about Martha?
Well, I'm afraid the shower has been over a long time. Miss Milford's house was dark when we passed there. I guess your wife's at my house.
Oh, she's at somebody's house.
You don't seem very concerned about rolling in at 2 o'clock.
Oh, what's wrong with 2 o'clock? It's a nice round hour, but fewer cars on the street, pleasant motoring.
But, Mr. Thompson, your wife expected us home at 10:30. Frankly, I'm a little worried.
Oh, now, Gildersleeve, leave everything to me. I'll explain to Martha.
You will?
Naturally. Staying out late was my idea, and I'll assume complete responsibility.
Well, good for you, Mr. Thompson. By George, you're all right. You know, there was a time when I thought, yeah, but you're true blue. Well, here we are.
Oh, yes. Here we are.
Oop, there's Mrs. Thompson waiting for us. Looks awfully big standing in that doorway. What's that she's got in her hand? Oh, it's just a shadow. Here she comes. Oh, brother.
Mr. Gildersleeve.
Well, hello, Mrs. Thompson.
Where have you been with Edward?
Well, we were at the drugstore.
Until 2 a.m.
Well, we did go down to the bowling alley.
Bowling alley?
Of course, we weren't there very long. We came right home after playing the pinball machines.
You had my Edward playing pinball machines?
Now, wait a minute. I wasn't the one. Take it, Mr. Thompson. Thompson, wake up. Edward? Oh, my goodness, what a sneaky thing to do.
The Great Gildersleeve will be back very shortly. Tomorrow can be a red-letter day for you if it's the day you first try Parquet Margarine. Once you've tried it, we know that you too will always consider Parquet Margarine a real shopping find. For Parquet is the margarine that millions prefer because it tastes so good. And it tastes so good because it's always fresh. Parquet is the margarine so good that Kraft can afford to make this offer. Double your money back if you don't say it's the best margarine you ever tasted. Yes, if you don't agree Parquet is the best margarine you've ever tasted, send the empty carton with a letter stating your opinions, your name and address, and state the price you paid to Kraft, Box 1163, Chicago 90, Illinois. And Kraft will refund double the price you paid. Put Parquet on your shopping list right now. That's Parkay, Parquet Margarine, made by Kraft.
I'm coming.
Good morning, Auntie.
Good morning, my dear.
You'll excuse me if I rush, Uncle Mort. This is the day I work at the Red Cross.
No, maybe I'll go down with you.
Really?
Yeah. After last night with Mr. Thompson, I need a transfusion. My bloodstream is pure Coca-Cola. Well, I'm kidding about the transfusion. But I want to be serious a moment about the Red Cross, my dear. Here is an organization which is always ready to serve wherever it's needed. And I don't have to tell you what a great job it does. You've read about it every day in your newspapers. Wherever disaster strikes, wherever we are in need, the Red Cross is there. It's our Red Cross, our protection. Let's give it our full support in every way we can. Remember the Red Cross. Good night, everybody, and be sure to be with us next week.
Next Wednesday, the Great Gildersleeve has something up his sleeve which is going to be of very special interest to every one of you homemakers. Be sure you're listening next week. The Great Gildersleeve is played by Harold Perry. The show was written by Paul West, John Elliott, and Andy White, with music by Jack Meakin. Included in the cast are Mary Lee Robb, Lillian Randolph, Kathy Lewis, Arthur Q. Bryan, and Dick LeGrand. This is Jay Stewart saying goodnight for the Kraft Foods Company, makers of the famous line of Kraft quality food products.
Want to put magic in leftover meals? Then have plenty of Kraft prepared mustard on hand. Mustard makes hidden flavors pop right out of leftover meats, adds new life to salad or egg dishes. You can get two kinds of Kraft prepared mustard, you know. Salad mustard, mild, delicately spiced, or Kraft mustard with snappy horseradish added. Have both on hand, for when you add a little mustard, you add a lot of tang. Get Kraft prepared mustard.
Stay tuned for the exciting new Break the Bank on NBC.
The Kraft Foods Company, makers of Kraft quality foods, presents Harold Perry as the Great Gildersleeve. center of attraction at most any well-turned-out meal is often the salad. Cool and crisp, it's a perfect invitation to sit down and eat. But the story doesn't end there. For the trick of making salads that taste even better than they look is an easy one to learn. Just serve them with the one and only Miracle Whip. Miracle Whip, you know, is made by a secret craft recipe that gives it a famous and irresistible flavor. Not too sharp, not too bland, but just exactly right. Yes, salads are something special when they're made with Miracle Whip salad dressing. There's no wonder it's the most popular salad dressing ever created. Well, it's May 10th in Summerfield. Why on May 10th should the birds be singing so sweetly? Why should the sun be shining so brightly? Why should the scent of orange blossoms fill the air? Why, it's Marjorie's wedding day. And the great Gildersleeve is facing it with stoical calm.
Well, I did a beautiful job tying this ascot tie. Some men about to give a bride away would be nervous, but not me. I wonder why my collar keeps sticking up on one side. Forgot the collar button. Here it is on the dresser. Slippery. Oyster shell. Come here, button. Under the dresser.
Marjorie!
Where are you fixing my hair, Uncle?
One of you come and retrieve my collar button.
All right, Uncle. Which way did it go?
Well, it's popped under the dresser, Bertie. I'd stoop over for it, but I don't want to break my starched front.
Yes, sir. Well, let Bertie stoop over. Stooping's good for Bertie.
Make you look nice and trim when you stand up and sing the solo at the wedding, Bertie.
Yes, sir. Here's your collar button.
Yeah, thank you, Bertie.
Here, Unky, I'll do it for you.
Oh, I can do it myself, but if you insist.
Then let Miss Marjorie do it, Mr. Gildersleeve. It'll be the last time she'll get to tie it. From now on, she'll be tying Mr. Bronco's tie.
Yeah. After the day, Bronco will be roped and tied.
Oh, Unky. There.
Mr. Gildersleeve, you sure look nice in that puffy tie and them striped pants. Mighty spiffy.
Yeah, rental. Well, this cutaway coat isn't bad either. I think they cut it away a little far in front, though. Sort of a plunging waistline.
Aren't you dressing early?
Dressing early? Well, Marjorie, I've attended to everything else. I'm the ringmaster of this show. May as well get dressed for it. Where's my top hat?
You going to wear it around the house?
Well, I thought I might try it on again in front of the mirror. Get the proper angle.
Mr. Gildersleeve, think about them photographers.
Now, Bertie, it isn't every wedding that gets photographed by Look magazine. And I want to look my best for Look.
You're simply terrific, Unky.
Well.
And thanks to you, this is the most wonderful wedding a girl ever had.
Well, everything's running like clockwork, my dear. The church was ready at 9:05 this morning. We leave for the church in our rented limousine at 12:02. We march down the aisle at 12:50. And the groom will be kissing the bride at 1 o'clock on the nose.
If Mr. Bronco's as nervous as I think he's going to be, that's where the bride's going to get kissed. On the nose.
Oh, dear. Yeah, what is it, Leroy?
You'll have to call off the wedding.
What?
The ice cream hasn't arrived.
Oh, my goodness.
And the reception's only 3 hours away.
Leroy, ice cream isn't the most important part of the wedding.
Are you kidding?
Don't let it bother you, my boy. I have everything under control. I'll walk down to Peavy's and check on the ice cream.
Why don't you phone, Unky?
Well...
You don't want to walk down in a top hat and tails. All the neighbors will see you.
Why do you think he's walking?
Hello, Peavy.
Well, hello, Mr. Gildersleeve. What can I do for you this morning?
Peavy, what about the ice cream for the reception?
Yeah, what about it?
Yeah. Well, it hasn't been delivered.
No, it hasn't. Like to carry it home in that hat?
No, Peavy.
There seems to be a lot of room for something up there. That's a pretty big hat.
Well, it's a top hat, Peavy, for the wedding.
My.
Well, we want to do this thing up right.
I guess everything's in quite a turmoil around your house today.
Not at all, Peavy. Everything's running like clockwork. If I do say so myself, I've planned this thing rather well.
You don't say.
Certainly. This is one wedding that's coming off without a hitch.
Well, it isn't much of a wedding without a hitch.
Oh, brother.
That was a little witticism, Mr. Gildersleeve. Weddings are sometimes referred to as hitches.
I know, Peavy.
Like hitching horses.
Give me my ice cream, Peavy, and I'll be on my way.
Very well. Oh, excuse me, Mr. Gildersleeve, while I answer the phone.
Oh, go right ahead, Peavy. There's no hurry. The wedding can always be postponed.
Peavy Pharmacy? Yes? 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 Yes?
What a yes man.
Yes. Oh, yes. Goodbye.
Who was it, Peavy, your wife?
No, it was Bertie.
Bertie? Why didn't you give me the telephone?
You didn't ask for it.
Yeah. What did she want?
She wanted me to ask you to hurry home. It seems a man has arrived with a 7-passenger limousine.
Hey, it's later than I thought.
You're driving a limousine to the church, are you, Mr. Gildersleeve?
You bet. Look magazine will be there to take pictures, and by George, they're not going to regret it.
Well,
Yeah, see you later, Peavy. Bertie!
Yes, Miss Gildersleeve?
Have you heard anything from Bronco's parents? They're supposed to ride with us in that limousine.
The Thompsons haven't showed up yet, Miss Gildersleeve.
Better get on the ball. We should be starting soon. The photographer wants to take pictures before the ceremony.
Yes, sir. Miss Gildersleeve?
Yes, Bertie?
I know there's a lot of important people in this wedding, so you can tell that look photographer he don't have to take no pictures of me.
What's this, Bertie?
All I did for the wedding was bake the cake, make the punch, press the dress, buy all the neighbors' dishes, but he don't have to take no picture of me.
Well, you have your picture taken, Bertie.
Well, he don't have to take it. All I did was bake the cake, make the punch, press the dress.
I know, Bertie. Where's Leroy?
He don't have to take my picture.
Bertie, I planned to have him take a picture of you throwing rice after the wedding.
You did? Bertie's going to have a picture taken.
Wait a minute, Bertie, wait a minute. Where's Leroy?
Oh, Leroy put on his new suit and went out to play.
Well, that's... Oh, my goodness. Leroy?
Yeah?
Where are you?
I'm under the house.
In your new blue suit?
Yeah. I'm looking for Elmer.
That turtle at a time like this?
Oh, I'll take him to the church.
What? Take that turtle to church?
Sure. Oh, I can't get married without the whole family being there.
Leroy, just because you share the same room doesn't mean Elmer has been admitted to the family. You come out from under that house and go wash again.
Okay.
What was that?
I didn't see the nail.
Oh, that beautiful $16 suit. Things are beginning to fall apart. Now hold still, Leroy.
Okay.
Imagine the city water commissioner sewing up pants in a cutaway coat. That Bertie doesn't have time to do this.
Why sew it up, Bunk? When I hitch my pants up high, my coat covers the rip.
Stand still, Leroy. You're nervous. Don't let the wedding upset you. Be more like me or we'll never get this job done.
Okay. Oh, don't you have to thread the needle?
Oh, yeah. That must be the Thompsons. At last.
Yes, Bronco's absent-minded father.
Leroy, you shouldn't say that about Mr. Thompson. He's a fine man. You just can't remember who's getting married. I'll get it, Bertie. Wonder why Mrs. Thompson isn't with us. We'll never get off to the church. Well, Mr. Thompson, come in.
Oh, hello, Gildersleeve. At last I found your house. What? You've moved, haven't you?
No, I've been living here for 9 years.
But the last time I came to your house, there was a car in the driveway.
It's out in front now, Mr. Thompson.
Oh, that explains it.
It'll soon be time to go to the church. Where's Mrs. Thompson?
Martha? Oh, she went by to check the church.
The church was checked at 9:05 this morning.
Well, Martha likes to double-check things.
Yes, I know.
Who is it, Uncle? Oh, hello, Mr. Thompson.
Mr. Thompson, you remember Marjorie?
Oh, of course she's going to marry my son, Bronco.
Yeah, now he's clicking.
You remember Bronco?
Yeah.
Good. Everybody knows everybody. Now I'll tell you why I came. Let's see now, why did I come?
Oh, brother. Could it be that you're going to ride to the church with us?
That's it. And Martha thought I might come over early and help. There's a wedding today, you know.
Oh. Marjorie, isn't it time you got into your wedding dress?
Right away, Auntie. Come on, Bertie, you can hook me up. I'm coming.
Confusion.
Now, Gildersleeve, don't get nervous.
Yeah, watch that needle, Unc.
Well, stop twitching, Leroy.
Well, you're busy with Leroy, Bertie's busy with Marjorie. I think I'll wander into the dining room and look at the cake.
Good. How's Bronco holding up?
Yeah, how many times has he fainted?
Oh, Bronco's in fine spirit. In fact, when we left him, he was shaving and singing.
Well, happy bridegroom.
What was he singing, the prisoner's song?
Leroy?
Ow!
Sorry.
Oh, say, this is a beautiful wedding cake. 3 stories.
That's right. Bertie baked that cake. Leroy, if you don't stand still...
Well, I got an itch.
Too bad if a beautiful white cake like this should get dusty.
Yeah.
Gildersleeve, how would it be if I covered it with this long piece of muslin?
Go right ahead, Mr. Thompson. Just keep yourself occupied.
Yeah. That'll protect you. Frosting's a little sticky. Oh, well, you can always wash the muslin, eh, Gildersleeve?
Yeah. All through, Leroy? That's it. Another emergency met. Everything's running like clockwork again.
Miss Gildersleeve?
Yes, Bertie?
Would you bring up Miss Marjorie's bridal veil from the dining room?
Bridal veil? Bridal veil? Zeke, stop the clock. Now I have to launder a bridal veil. The great Gildersleeve will be back in just a minute. Ever have almost a free-for-all at your house, the mealtime kind? I mean with the children refusing the salad and you and Dad having to put a foot down. Well, if you do have such discussions with any member of the family, here's help in a hurry. Get Miracle Whip tomorrow and spring a big surprise. Then watch them go for their salads. For Miracle Whip is different from all other salad dressings. Different and better. So much better that it's far and away the most popular salad dressing ever created. You see, Miracle Whip is made by a unique recipe. Not just a salad dressing, not a mayonnaise. It combines the qualities of both. Gives you a perfection of flavor you get in it alone. Ask for the one and only Miracle Whip. And try some of the other Kraft dressings, too. Kraft mayonnaise, Kraft French dressing, and Kraft Miracle French dressing. Your grocer is featuring all of them during a big salad carnival this month. You'll find some wonderful salad ideas, too, in the Salad Carnival ad running in this week's Saturday Evening Post. Well, when there's a wedding, everybody concerned seems to get a little excited. Let's look in on the bridegroom. He seems to have things under control.
The girl that I marry will have to be as soft and as pink as a nursery.
Well, he seems a little nervous, too. Now let's get back to where the nerves are really jumping. Bertie, is that veil dry yet?
I'm drying it with the iron. There. That does it.
Let me have it. I'll run to Marjorie's room with it.
May I take it up for you, Gildersleeve?
No, Mr. Thompson.
I ain't taking no chances. I'm taking it up.
Yeah, all right, Bertie.
It still looks like muslin to me. Oh, I'm sorry about the cake, Gildersleeve.
Now, don't worry about it, Mr. Thompson. Bertie packs it up. She took some frosting off the back side and put it on the front side.
Gosh, I hope I get a piece off the front.
Yeah. Now, Leroy.
Well, I don't want to get cheated on my own sister's wedding.
I can't imagine what's keeping Martha. She was invited, wasn't she?
Yes.
Miss Gildersleeve, Miss Marjorie's gone.
She is? Gone? Bertie, what are you saying?
She's gone. She ain't in her room.
Well, where would she go? She knows she's getting married, doesn't she?
Please, Mr. Thompson.
Maybe she couldn't wait and walk to the church.
In her wedding outfit, Leroy?
Well, you walk downtown in yours. I heard the dogs barking at you.
Yeah. See, I'll bet that's Marjorie. She probably went outside for a little air.
That's logical.
Come in, Marjorie.
Mr. Gildersleeve, my name is Martha.
Oh, yes, it is. Mother Thompson.
Come in, Martha. We've been waiting for you.
Well, I had to rearrange the flowers. Is everything here in order, Mr. Gildersleeve?
Well, Marjorie's missing.
Marjorie's missing. You don't suppose she backed out, do you? Oh, good heavens.
Bertie, she wouldn't back out right before the wedding.
Well, if you're going back out of a wedding right before it's the last chance you got. I did once while the organ was playing.
Yeah.
Mr. Gildersleeve, I had a feeling I should be here to take charge.
Yeah, well, I'm sure Marjorie's upstairs someplace. Now, everybody be calm.
Yes, Martha. Be calm.
She must be in her room. Marjorie. She's not here. Little Marjorie. Where's she gone? Say, the door to my room is closed. Marjorie.
Yes, Uncle?
Oh, there you are. Well, and don't you look beautiful in your dress? We've been looking all over for you, my dear.
I'm sorry, Uncle.
Marjorie, what's the matter?
Nothing. I just felt like coming to your room and being all alone for a little while before I have to leave you.
Oh, my little girl.
You've been a wonderful uncle. I know I'm going to be happy with Bronco, but I've been happy here, too.
Oh, my dear, dry your pretty eyes. That's it. The people are waiting at the church.
Well, it's just that... Well, Uncle, you're the only father I've ever known.
What the heck? Let them wait.
So, you finally got here, Gildy. Where's Marjorie?
She's gone in, Judge. Don't you have something to do? As I recall, you're the best man.
Yes, indeed, but I had to check to see that the bride arrived. Bronco was getting worried.
You don't have to worry about this end of the wedding, Judge. I've got everything under control.
Well, now, I wouldn't say that.
Stevie, and Floyd's here, too.
Hi, Commish. I closed up the barber shop just to see if you'd trip coming down the aisle.
Yeah, all right, Floyd.
Well, if you gentlemen will excuse me, I'll rejoin the groom in the vestry.
Hey, Commish. Now that the judge is gone, which one's the getaway car?
Well, it's a...
Look.
What?
Look here, I want to wire this bomb to the engine.
Floyd, there'll be none of that.
Won't hurt nothing. Just blow off the hood and stink up the car. Which one is it?
Floyd, you'll get no such information out of me.
Hey, look. Marge wants to the music starting.
Good luck, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Thanks, Peavy.
And when the minister asks who gives this bride, you say, I do.
I know that, Peavy. Coming, Marjorie.
How do you feel, Walter?
Who?
You, Bronco.
Oh, me. Oh, that's right. My name is Walter.
You're not nervous, are you?
Nervous? Me? Oh, no. Huh. Judge Hooker?
Yes, Bronco.
I'm scared to death.
Well, that's a good sign, my boy. It shows you're taking this seriously. And marriage is a serious step.
I'll say.
It's the most beautiful venture given to mankind. The dedication of one life to another.
Yeah. Oh, you have the ring, Judge.
Don't worry, Bronco. I have it sewed in my vest pocket. Oh, that reminds me. I better take my penknife out and clip the thread.
What time is it, Judge?
Won't be long now, my boy. Birdie's getting ready to sing the solo.
Won't be long now, Marjorie. Birdie's getting ready to sing the solo.
Unky, I'm glad you're with me.
Yeah, so am I, my dear.
I love you with its sorrow, life with its tears, fade into dreams. When I feel you are near, love you truly.
Oh, Unky.
Beautiful.
Unky, all the people are turning around to look at us.
Yeah, courage, my dear. Not so fast, Marjorie. Pace yourself.
Walter, wilt thou have this woman to thy wedded wife, to live together after God's ordinance in the holy state of matrimony? Wilt thou love her, comfort her, honor and keep her, in sickness and in health, and forsaking all others, keep thee only unto her, so long as you both shall live?
I will.
Marjorie, wilt thou have this man to thy wedded husband, to live together after God's ordinance in the holy state of matrimony? Wilt thou love him, comfort him, honor and keep him, in sickness and in health, and forsaking all others, keep thee only unto him, so long as you both shall live?
I will.
Much as Walter and Marjorie have consented together in holy wedlock, and have witnessed the same before God and his company, and thereto have given and pledged their troth each to the other, and have declared the same by giving and receiving a ring, and by joining hands, I pronounce that they are man and wife. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Ghost. Amen.
Little Marjorie, she's gone.
And now the groom may kiss the bride if he so desires.
Oh, Marge.
Bronco.
Where's my handkerchief?
Little brother-in-law.
Yeah, great. Bye. Come on, Mr. and Mrs. Thompson. Relatives. Let's get in the car, huh?
All right, Mr. Gildersleeve. Well, we lost a son, but we gained a daughter.
That's true.
And she was beautiful.
Gildersleeve, you lost a daughter, but you gained a son.
Yeah. Yes, well, we're all one big happy family. Let me help you in, Mrs. Thompson.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Gildersleeve.
You get in the back with me, Leroy.
Okay. Now that the mush
coffee stuff is over. Let's go eat the cake.
Good boy.
Mr. Gildersleeve, when I arrived this morning, I was inclined to be a little critical.
You, Mother Thompson.
But I must say everything went off perfect.
Yeah, just like clockwork. I even kept Floyd from tinkering with the kid's car.
Oh?
Yeah, I wouldn't tell him which one was theirs.
Oh! Floyd found the wrong car.
Naturally, all of you were invited to Marjorie's wedding, but for those of you who couldn't actually be at the church, the complete picture story is in the current issue of Look magazine, now on the newsstand. We'll return to the great Gildersleeve and the festivities in just a moment. If you're not buying them already, it probably won't be long until this summer's tomatoes are on the market. So let's plan to show them off in a dish that'll really delight the family and bring compliments from your guests. Choose the smallest and rosiest tomatoes you can find, stuff them with coleslaw made with famous Miracle Whip, and serve on a bed of greens. They're delicious. Just be sure you make them with famous Miracle Whip salad dressing. Made by a secret recipe, Miracle Whip combines the qualities of boiled dressing and fine mayonnaise. Has a wonderful flavor, tangy yet delicate, that simply can't be copied. It has a velvety smooth texture, too, because of a special beater used exclusively by Kraft. Like millions of others, you'll prefer the one and only Miracle Whip. Well, goodbye. Love those Thompsons.
Everybody gone, Miss Gildersleeve?
Yeah, the reception's over. Marjorie and Bronco are on their way. There's just the three of us left, Bertie. You and I and little Leroy. And a sink full of dishes. Oh, brother, this couch feels good.
Boy, what a day. There's one piece of cake left, son. Can I have it?
Sure, go ahead, my boy.
I don't think I want it. I think I'll go to bed.
Now, Leroy, I know it's a temptation to let down after it's all over, but let's get the house straightened up.
Yes, sir.
Get all the furniture back, wash the dishes, vacuum the rugs.
What a character.
What a family. Good night, folks.
The Great Gildersleeve is played by Harold Perry. The show is written by Paul West, John Elliott, and Andy White, with music by Jack Meekin. Mary Lee Robb is Marjorie, and Dick Crenna plays Bronco. This is Jay Stewart saying goodnight for the Kraft Foods Company, makers of the famous line of Kraft quality food products. Be sure to listen in next Wednesday and every Wednesday for the further adventures of the Great Gildersleeve.
Here's a taste test that counts. Try any meat without mustard. Then add a golden dab of Kraft prepared mustard to your next bite. Taste the difference. There are two kinds of Kraft mustard, you know. Salad mustard, delicately spiced for those who like their mustard mild, or Kraft prepared mustard with snappy horseradish added. Have both on hand. For remember this, when you add a little mustard, you add a lot of tang. Get Kraft prepared mustard.
Now join the excitement of Break the Bank on NBC.